action to begin. Baby, I wanna hear him. Thunder in paradise. Thunder in paradise. Thunder. When there's thunder. Thunder in paradise. Yeah, nothing can happen.
There we go. Cowabunga, etc. Hi everyone. It's me. It's me. It's me, Pete. Look, I'm the big lad now. I'm the big lad. It doesn't quite fit, does it? Doesn't quite fit. Doesn't quite fit. There we go. I'm on the big lad. Hi everyone. Hope you're well. Hope you're ready for some big lads. I've bulked up for the occasion. Wearing a yellow shirt would have completed the illusion, wouldn't it? Also, I've not put my light on. Okay. Hi everyone. Hello. Hello everyone. Hello Bread Centre. Bread Centre, are you not seeing Ireland's first and only play tonight? Well, I suppose you can do two things. If you're on your phone watching this while the play's on, that's disrespectful to Kate, I'd say. Oh, is it tomorrow? Okay, well, yeah, exclamation mark CAC to get a link to see Kate's play. Hope you enjoy it. When are you when will you be in? Are you in Dublin now, or are you heading over? Are you heading over on the day of the play? Also, hello everyone else. Hello, Mighty Fighty Shushbug said I've got two orders of business to discuss tonight. The first of which being I accidentally said enjoy your meal to the pizza delivery guy. It's a shame that's happened. Well, no, I don't need like a longitude and latitude. I just wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. I was just curious about Bread Centre's travel plans. Yeah, exactly. I just want to wish Bread Centre a good Dublin. Can we get some GDBs in the chat, please, for a good Dublin Bread Centre? There we go. Thank you, Gobelon. Could ever use them again? Is that an option, Mighty Fighter? Can you just never order a pizza from there again? Yes, is that what happens, Mighty Mighty? As I have other interests now, did you follow it up with sorry that was a weird thing to say, bye Dad? Your move, yeah, fair enough. Good, well, problem solved. Problem solved. My first problem is that I have to upload something to TikTok today. Which I suppose isn't that big a problem. But as you can see here, it's going to be the Pete Picks Art Attack intro. That's what we're uploading to. To TikTok tonight. Hopefully that Do you know what, Josie? Oh, sorry, Josie's gone. Do you know what? I have other interests. That it seems to have got quite a few. What do you call the views? Talks. Considering some of the awful hashtags we attached to it. Yeah, it's 789 views, which isn't bad. That's competitive. The bin one was a great talk. The offstage, well, the problem is, Mighty Pighty, I need to upload the TikTok before I go live. Otherwise, it takes the stream down. So I need to do this one. I I need to do this one off stream, but I do always do it genuinely. So I think I already had. Yeah, I did have this in. We've already had this in for anyone that missed it. Bread Center sent in hashtag RAP King Charles, which one day that's going to pay off. Hello, Baldy. Do you mean We're getting hummed. Glad no one else has said Look, it's a long stream, Big Buffer. Let's not. Hello, Baldy. Oh, there's Tugboat. Just invite this in.
Guess what's going down? Jimmy Hart, don't make a move. Guess what's going
So I didn't realize the streams had sort of they've developed this kind of Jackie Weaver level of admin inside out where Big Buffer's next some sort of chair. Would you like to move on to your second order of business? The stream's not going to have an agenda. You don't all have to pre-submit your comments. 37 talks now for RAP King Charles. Well, there hasn't been any any cultural references. What should I have said? John Burko. Is John Burko the modern Jackie Weaver? Who's the Gen Z Jackie Weaver? Anyway, we're going to watch some Big Lads. That's what we're going to do tonight. But I should explain the TikTok thing, shouldn't I? Anyone that... Yeah, it could be Moodang, yeah. No, John Burko hasn't been. But I've forgotten the other guy's name's Lindsay Hoyle, isn't it? Lindsay Hoyle. Lindsay Hoyle is the 2024 John Burko. It's Moodang. Yeah, it's Moodang, isn't it? Moodang, you've got no authority here. Or whatever. Anyone that subs or donates tonight can suggest a Pete pick. And in addition to that, they can add a hashtag to the TikTok that we're going to post at the end of the night, which will be my intro video to the Pete pick streams. I didn't dredge up Betty Booth right. It's probably in there somewhere. Thank you, Baldy. I'll add that straight in before we get into the Big Lads. We're heading into 1990, so a new decade of Big Lads starts tonight. Okay, I'm gonna copy that in. So that is hashtag Jackie Weaver. You have no authority here. So yeah, so you can either add a hashtag by subbing or donating, or you can use the channel point redeem to send one in. Yeah, I don't know where we're going to see Magnus. Is it 1990? The wall is down. Oh, the wall. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the wall is down. Yeah, this is the first post-wall World's Strongest Man. Surprisingly, that hasn't got any talks. I would have thought. I guess it's quite long, but I would have thought that might have been. Maybe it's not as hot a cultural reference as I thought, was it? I don't think I do remember Ken Bite. Oh, hang on, bring that back. Go back. Come back. Yeah, well done. Can we all please congratulate Czechoslovakia on the Velvet Revolution? Hello, Adamantium. We are going to watch some Big Lads in a minute. We're also posting a TikTok tonight. And it's going to have hashtag Berlin Wall on it. 8.4 thousand talks for Berlin Wall. So that's probably going to be more than hashtag Mr. Gorbachev rebuild that wall. I do remember that guy, yeah. Mr. Gorbachev rebuild that wall criminally. 0 talks. Yeah, I've got a press clip that directly references Joe Swinson. Also, I've got a hedgehog in my garden that's named after Joe Swinson. I've just put the hedgehog camera out. Try and get some. Try and see what Joe Spinson's up to. Why? Someone else said it, and it seemed funny at the time. I wouldn't say I'm a Joe Swin stan, although if someone wants to add that as a hashtag, that's quite funny. Should I do a prediction if someone gets a barrel thrown on them? Yeah, we will. Bill Popper, we will be watching the 1990 World's Strongest Man, and then we're going to watch the 1990 and the final Full Strength, which is the competition that last year in 1989, one contestant nearly killed another contestant with a barrel. I'm going to put the hedgehog videos up on Only Spines. Look, what I do with my hedgehog videos is so no, I'll put them in the Discord in the Only Spines channel. I don't think I do remember Smeeto, no. Please refer to the garden as the Swin Zone from now on. What, just in the stream or just also around the house? Because that's gonna confuse my parents. And I've explained how easily confused my parents are. But I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it. Mrs. Tiggy Wankle. What's this going to be? That feels like it's got Pete Pick all over it. Oh, well, I have a Pressler based on that, Baldy, as I think you're well aware. Oh, sorry, I missed your second order of business, Mighty Fighty. You've been workshopping merch ideas for me, and you've come up with these top 3. 1, crisps. Everyone loves crisps. What's that suggestion? That I should have a flavour of crisps? I don't think I do remember. Is this what the stream? Right, okay. Let's get the big lads on. Let's get the big lads on. And we can keep chatting, can't we? We can keep chatting while the lads are lifting stuff up. Does anyone want to do a prediction? Anyone got an idea for a prediction for the 1990 World's Strongest Man? Because last time we did how many times where they mentioned luggage, and it was none. They changed tack. So think we'll get a speaking woman. We might do. It's the 90s now. Go on. There it is. Okay. Oh, I've just seen where we're going. Well, again, Full Strength is more the one where we're going to get health and safety violations. Yeah, this is GoPro. Yeah, we can do whether or not we're going to get a speaking woman. I think that's a good one. We do sometimes they throw to their wives, don't they? But not always. Not always. Yeah, nosebleed's good. Nosebleed. Yeah, okay. Okay, will we see a nosebleed? So simple yes or no. Oh, hello, Harry. Yeah, Harry. This is the first. Post Berlin Wall Big Lads 1990 World's Strongest Man. We're going to watch. Okay. Oh, but they're almost guaranteed. You're going to get irate about some socks, motivated. Tell you what, let's. I think everyone will already be following Harry, but let's give Harry a share anyway. Will you be streaming the next episode of Philip Schofield's Island show, Harry? Okay, here we go. Okay, let's get the big lads on. Okay, get your predictions in. And also, we're just gonna just going to do the logo swap, but it'll be swapped for nothing because I don't have a Big Lad's logo. It's a good question, Big Papa. Okay, here we go. It's lad time. It's lad o'clock. Yeah, do your best, Harry.
To find the world's strongest man.
Where are you going on the Megabus? Are you going home, aren't you? Here we go. Competing for the DAF trophy. And we're in Joensuu.
The competition this year comes from Finland,
East
land
Finland.
of 1,000 lakes and endless forests. We're based here at Joensuu, 50 miles from the Soviet border and 280 miles northeast of the capital, Helsinki. Founded at the mouth of the Pielajoki River almost 150 years ago, Joensuu is the capital of North Karelia, one of Finland's 12 provinces. Its growing wealth depended on a vibrant timber trade.
Yeah, forest
Today,
capital of
it's
Europe.
also a thriving tourist centre with a high reputation in commerce and education. Students cycle to and from the town's highly regarded university, founded in 1969. People here normally enjoy life in the quiet lane, but this year they're in for intense competition, as 8 of the mightiest men on earth do battle.
Does anyone here enjoy life in the quiet lane? Because that's what they do in Joensuu.
University, founded in 1969. People here normally enjoy life in the quiet lane, but this year they're in for intense competition, as 8 of the mightiest men on earth do battle for the title, the world's strongest man. Jamie Reeves of Great Britain is the world's strongest man,
Jamie
but sadly
Reeves.
he cannot defend his title this year. Jamie, what went wrong?
Oh, F
I
for
had an
Jamie.
injury in my left arm where the left bicep tore, causing the bicep tendon to rupture. So after a 4-hour
Multi3 is
operation,
fitting up the
I'm on
stream
road
with
to recovery now.
£2.
That must be
Jackie
hugely
Weaver is a
disappointing.
member of the authority.
Yes, I'm very disappointed, but for the world's strongest man next year, I'll be back.
Well, that's very encouraging news, Jamie, but we're not losing him. He's staying with us.
All right, it's already worth watching, isn't it? We've just seen Jamie Reeves' Terminator audition.
Next year, I'll be back.
Well, that's very...
Yes, I'm very disappointed, but for the world's strongest man next
Hang on. Here we go.
year, I'll be back.
Well, that's...
There we go.
I'll be back.
Well, that's very encouraging news, Jamie, but we're not losing him. He's staying with us for the rest of the competition. Let's now meet the competitors.
Thank you very much for the sub, Lemonlicious. Good username. Good username. Thanks for the sub. He did give his name at the start. Bill McFarlane. Bill McFarlane is his name. Bill McFarlane.
Men on earth do battle for the title, the world's strongest man. Jamie Reeves of Great
Hello,
Britain is the
Lemonlicious.
world's
Thank you very
strongest
much
man,
for the sub.
but sadly he cannot defend his title this year.
That's a
Jamie,
good,
what went wrong?
I had an
That's a
injury in
good
my
one.
left arm where the left bicep tore, causing the bicep
Are you,
tendon to rupture.
you stream
So after a
Lemonlicious?
4-hour operation, I'm on the road to recovery now.
That must be hugely disappointing.
Yes,
Got your
I'm
own lemon
very
emotes.
disappointed,
Very
but for the
nice.
world's strongest man next year, I'll be back.
He'll
Well,
be
that's
back.
very encouraging news, Jamie, but we're not losing him. He's staying with us for the rest of the competition. Let's now meet the competitors. On home soil, Ilkka Niemisto,
It's
a
Ilkka.
former Olympic canoeist for Finland and at 46
Does
the
a bit,
oldest
doesn't it?
competitor. From Hungary, 32-year-old Laszlo Fekete, for 16 years a handball player, now his country's finest millstone thrower.
That's good. Yeah, me too.
From Denmark, making his first appearance, Henning Thorsen, at 31, 5 times Danish
Henning
super heavyweight
Thorsen.
powerlifting champion. From the nearby Soviet state of Estonia, Apu Spensky, at
Oh,
24,
look at
the
this.
wrestler, is the
Look
youngest
at
and
this,
lightest competitor.
This the Soviet Estonian flag. That's don't see that anymore, do you?
Danish super heavyweight powerlifting
I
champion.
don't know what a lemon party
From the
is.
nearby Soviet state of Estonia, Apu Spensky, at 24, the wrestler, is the youngest and lightest competitor. From Great Britain, 26-year-old former
Adrian
bodybuilder
Smith.
Adrian Smith, coached for this contest by former World's Strongest Man champion Jeff Capes.
Oh, good.
Charling van den Bosch is the Netherlands' strongest man, a former powerlifter, now at 32, a professional Highland Games athlete. From the United States, the 29-stone giant
Right.
Odie Wilson.
Odie
At
Wilson, who was
36,
nearly
a former
killed with a
world
barrel.
super heavyweight powerlifting champion. And the man they'll all have to beat, 30-year-old John Paul Sigmason, bidding for a record 4th title. Each day, massive log chains, hundreds of meters long, are pulled down the River Pielezjoki to the Juensus sawmills. Well, a tug normally does that, but for event 1 of World's Strongest Man, each man will be hauling over 20 meters, 15 tons of logs against the current. It's difficult
Wow.
enough, but when you consider that most of this, like an iceberg, is under the water,
That
you
is
see the
danger.
task ahead of them. So perfect
Yes.
conditions.
Great use of the tugboat emotes. Oh, let me write down. What did Baldy want?
Ring. Guess what's going down? Jimmy Hart.
Baldy wanted
don't
Jackie
make a move,
Weaver is a
get
member of the
what's gonna
authority. That's very good. I'm going to write that down. That would be a future Pete pick. Lemonlicious, if you would like to suggest something to become a Pete pick, which no doubt people will love to explain, you can do. And also you can suggest a hashtag to add to the TikTok I'm going to post at the end of the stream. Right, Jackie Weaver. I'm going to guess Adamantium doesn't know who Jackie Weaver is. Jackie Weaver as a member of the authority. Oh. Okay, first written down. Anyone that's up to date can suggest something to
On the
become a
river
Pete
for
pick,
event 1 as a large
which is generally a robot from Robot Wars or a wrestler with my head on. Or I guess it could be one of these
watches the
big
log being
lads.
pushed into position. A moment for 3
Harry
times
is
title
fizzing
holder
up
John
the
Paul
stream with 2
Sigmason to
pounds.
reflect on the difficulties
Olaf
lying
idea.
ahead.
Lemon
Mainly, I
patty.
think
Yeah,
the
that's
competitors
good.
could slip on the rope, and some of them might have, might not have, you know, enough power.
Looking at the field this year, who's the biggest threat to you?
The biggest
Yeah, that
one
could
is
be.
Odie
You could be
Wilson.
right.
He's a mighty big man.
And does he pose the biggest threat as well?
You just have to wait and see.
Lemon Petey, Hobot in brackets. Okay, here's
So,
Ilka.
Finland's strongest
Oh,
man
this is good.
first to take the strain with the nylon rope biting into his hands. Plenty of advice from his coach Marku, and Jamie Reeves' only effort appears to be coming from Ilka's arms.
Yes, Ilka's using a lot of arm on this pull and doesn't seem to be using enough leg, but still is
Not
keeping
enough
a very
leg,
smooth
Ilka.
action, and it looks a very quick pull.
Well, he's 46
And
years
we've
old.
seen
Jamie.
Ilka's
Why is
leg,
it really
haven't we?
hurting him?
The arms will be taking a real beating now. as
Ilka's
he's getting
leg
towards
is
the
an
end.
alert on here somewhere.
That's the 5-meter mark. Into the home straight. The klaxon sounds
that's
at
good. I'll back them up.
57.52
Delicious.
seconds. A very good effort from the oldest
I
competitor.
haven't googled it, Lemonlicious, and I don't intend to.
Prepare to pull. A mighty roar from a man who's more used to throwing than
Blame
pulling.
me?
Laszlo Fekete, the Hungarian millstone thrower, losing a grip
There it
with his
is.
wet
There it
nylon
is.
rope
There's
jelly.
Ilka's leg.
Yes, his grip seems to be at fault here. He's not squeezing the rope hard enough. It's
Not
slipping through his hands
Laszlo, you're
terribly.
not
He's really got to
not
buckle over
squeezing
and pull this
enough.
now.
Well, the
You're
sheer
sad
effort
at the moment.
really is
That's a
wasting
shame.
it, isn't he?
Yes, it
Red
looks a very
Panda is
slow time.
fizzing
He's
up the
wasting a
stream
lot
with
of
2
power,
pounds.
but his arms are slipping.
Jamie Reeves, big
Almost
night
at
out.
5 metres already. He's
Right,
outside Ilka's
I'll write
time.
that down.
Well, Laszlo looks very
Jamie
disgusted with that, and Adrian
Big
Smith
victory.
watching
That's good.
apprehensively as the judges agree a time of 65.34 seconds. Charling van den Bosch, the Netherlands,
Harp.
prepare to pull.
They
Charling
close
this
the
time
A1.
leaning
You
right
don't know where
forward,
you
gripping
are.
as far up the rope as he possibly
That
can.
is a shame, Harry.
He's 22 stones, possibly the body weight a key factor, Jimmy.
I think the body weight will help him overcome the inertia of the load, but once again Charlie's slipping and he doesn't seem to be using enough leg again.
No one's using enough leg.
A longer reach this time from the Dutchman.
Yes, he's got a good long reach and he's using that to his advantage now.
Well, there's terrific determination written across his face as he pulls faster and faster. The time's looking good. Well, these hands must be burning. But that's a leading time, 55.46 seconds. He must be happy with that effort.
Okay, I beat the first two competitors, but I'm afraid the winning time will be around 50 seconds flat. And that is not my time, I'm afraid.
We could see your hands were hurting at the end there.
Ah, yes, yes. It burns a little, hey? It's nylon, so. But that doesn't matter. That pain is not important. The pain of not winning is more important.
Prepare to pull!
Now after Uspensky, the lightest man in the contest, a mere 17.5 stones. Well, he's a professional wrestler, Jamie, so does he have the technique to cope with this?
That looks well coordinated,
See,
and he's using his legs, but he doesn't seem to be coming back to
I'll
the
look
rope
at
fast
up
enough. He's
later
not
and
really
see,
attacking it, but still it's a very smooth pull.
See if you ever wrestled Vader.
One disadvantage, these logs are soaking up the water as the event goes on.
Yes, they're getting heavier all
That's
the time.
what I just said, Baldy, but I don't know him. He's from
Well, only 5
Estonia.
metres separating the Estonian from the finishing line. He's pushing the Dutchman hard.
That's a good time.
Good time.
55.86 seconds, a very good performance from such a light man. And Ab is second.
What about it, Betty Betty?
John Paul signals on the Iceland.
Oh, here's John Paul.
Now the turn of John Paul Sigmarsson, the contest's most experienced competitor. Well, coming from Iceland, he's used to maritime
Oh, I
events. How's
see.
he
Right,
doing
okay.
here?
Merch header number 1
Doesn't seem to be
press.
going back
Merch
to the
header
rope
number
fast
2. A
enough.
big focus.
Seems to be asleep. He's not pulling nowhere near hard enough on this.
It feels more like a
A
King
very
of
different
Time
technique
merch
using
item.
both hands at the one time.
Yes, and then again, he's not using enough leg.
Yeah, that's good, Baldy. Not enough leg. How would I merch that,
There's the
Betty
5 metre
Betty?
mark again.
That's not a good start.
Frustration from John
No,
Paul.
good start for John Paul.
57.7 seconds, second last. What are the problems there?
Just not strong enough. No excuses.
Henning Thorsen from Denmark now takes up the Viking challenge. This is his debut
Go on,
event
Henning.
in World's Strongest Man. And that's his view of the task with 15 metres of the 20-metre course lying ahead.
Henning's doing very short strokes. The raft doesn't seem to be moving. He's using all arm. He's not getting his legs and back into this at all.
Are you a Dane, Lemonlicious?
Shouts of
Or you
encouragement, but he is slower again.
just have sympathy with the Danes?
57 seconds gone. Only Pekity slower so far. Well, acknowledgement of his time, 59.61 seconds, but all eyes now focusing on the biggest man in the contest. O.D. Wilson descending for his attempt at the log haul against the flow of the Pielezjoki River. And some looks of disbelief at his sheer size.
O.D. Wilson, USA. Prepare to pull!
What's your best tugboat impression? Or do you want me to fall
Now
through
that's
a
better.
wall?
O.D. seemed to use his 29 stones effectively, giving the logs a real tug before reaching the sitting position. Jamie, will this massive upper body strength help pull the 15 tons?
Yes, if anyone's going to pull it with just arms, it's going to be OD. He's got 24-inch arms. That's as big as a woman's waist.
Incredible his size, but he seems to be making progress.
Yes, he's really getting his big body weight behind this and giving
He's
it a good
got
pull.
Inside the last 3 metres, the time's very good.
Yeah. ABAAAWW
Yes, he
in
set
the
the hell on
chat.
fire
If you've
there.
got arms,
53.33 seconds, beating Uspensky and Van Den Bosch. He's in the lead. I know you were worried about your grip, but it held firm there.
Yeah, I think before the competition, I touched Jamie Reeves. I said, I need some of your power. So it came, it worked. So that was it. Yeah, for any kids
That's
out
right,
there
I'm
watching,
under trust, yeah.
when you grow up, you're a strong man. This is great stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Adrian Smith, United Kingdom. Prepare to pull!
Now the advantage for Britain's Adrian Smith, the last man to pull, is knowing precisely what he has to beat. His disadvantage is a body weight of 19 stones, some 10 stones lighter than OD.
I don't think that's bothering Adrian because he's really
that's
attacking
right,
this rope and he's
I'm
using a
under
lot of leg. This is the first time we've seen anybody really attack this rope.
Well, there we go. Now
Same
some
technique
leg.
as Uspensky, but more aggression.
Yes, and a lot more leg. This looks like being a fast time.
5 metre
Lot
mark, he's
more
inside
leg.
everybody now. Oh, what a great time.
Great start for Adrian.
50.32 seconds, 3 seconds faster than OD as John Paul suffers in silence. But for Adrian, sweet victory.
Well done, Adrian. Tremendous start there. Yeah.
Yeah, they are like
the start.
Oh.
I had a bit of an advantage with the luck of the draw, going last, so when I knew which time I needed to be.
I wasn't expecting him to have this voice.
But I'm very pleased with it.
You're one of the smallest, lightest men. It didn't seem to matter.
No.
He looks a bit like Bobby Davro, doesn't he? But hench.
And just strength can overcome loss of body weight. So, you know, I'm very pleased.
And no wonder, as Smith takes maximum points. Odie takes 7, and in his first major contest, Uspensky does very well to earn 5. For Sigmarsson, it's a disastrous start. We've moved right to the heart of Uenso now, for one of the great favourites of the competition, the truck pool. Competitors are asked to haul 6.5 tonnes of truck 20 metres along the high street. This time, it's man against man. Heat 1 pits the drive of Estonian Uspensky against the strength of Dutchman Tjalling van den Bosch. So the Dutchman, filling this great harness, strains forward to give the truck momentum. He's taking short steps.
I don't know, Adati. I was trying to ask this yesterday, and no one, as often happens here, no one can quite remember.
As the truck gets moving faster. Looks like he's struggling. I think he's got spikes
doesn't like he's
on.
struggling,
He seems to be
doesn't
slipping a little bit.
Walking in the white lines, that's a mistake, they're slipping. And Tjalling van den Bosch from Holland almost running towards the finish line. The time's good.
Yes, this is a good time for Charlie.
You know what I've realised, Mark?
Yes, 29.4
Everything is,
seconds,
isn't it?
but he came
Everything
down
is to
heavily.
someone.
How important's body weight here, Jimmy?
Well, body weight helps at the start, but it's up to the athlete to keep low and show good technique and keep the pull clean all the way through.
Uspensky's almost there now. It's 46.98 seconds. Tjalling clearly in pain, clutching the shoulder after that landing.
Oh dear.
It's not really bad, but when I finished, I reached for the line and I landed on my elbow.
Yeah.
So I had the idea the shoulder was here. I think it was for a second, but it came in nicely, so there's not really a problem, I hope.
Yeah, I suspect that would make it
3-time
worse.
title holder John Paul Sigmarsson tries to psych himself up. Laszlo Fekete takes the strain.
On your marks and get set.
And Sigmarsson needs some points badly here. He's currently lying in 6th place, but he's very experienced in this event and seems to have the right technique.
Yes, this is copybook technique by Sigmarsson. He's staying really low, keeping the hips low, driving with the legs, but he knows he needs the points badly on this event. Laszlo's all over the place. He's swaying from side to side. He's not steady on the rope at all.
Well, now the Icelander's within easy reach of the line. He's very fast. Let's watch the time. It's 30.9 seconds. But he's still inside Tjalling's time. The Dutchman's beaten him into second. And Fekete touches down now. 35.24 seconds. Well, in spite of that performance, the Icelandic camp seems despondent. John Paul seems to lack the fire
could motivate.
I'm hardly awake yet, so I didn't say anything. Just did it. Just like stepping out of the bed. But you will see more, you know, later on. More madness.
Well, an indication perhaps of the way John Paul's feeling, but there are 6 remaining events. And on the starting blocks for Heat 3, Adrian Smith and Henning Thorsen. Adrian Smith on the near side really low, while Henning Thorsen is in a far more upright position.
You're from the north,
yes,
or working class, you might prefer Oasis.
Seems to be high. Thorsen seems to be a little more upright, but Adrian's giving away so much body weight to Thorsen, around 4 stones. I think that's going to be too much in this event.
Thorsen driving forward, pulling well clear of Adrian Smith now.
Oh, come on, Adrian. You've got to pull that lorry.
Approaching the finishing line. The time is 32.9. He's 3rd. Smith's not far behind. He touches down now in 35.42. He's 5th. And a touch of the Sigmarssons from Thorsen. And from Smith, a more philosophical approach.
8 different events, and I've tried to balance them so that everyone has a fair crack. And obviously this one isn't one of my best ones, but if I can be average on all of them and good on the good ones, I'll finish well.
Do you have your game plan in place already for the whole competition?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So are you on schedule?
Yeah.
That's good. I have other interests.
A quietly confident Smith. But there's a mean man in town. The children love him, the other competitors know he's the one to beat here.
It's a shame it's the
Facing
world's
Wilson
strongest
in this
man,
final
so
heat is
that's not one of the
Ilkka
events.
Finland, 9 stones lighter than the American, and at 46, 10 years older than him.
USA, Ilkka Niemistä of Finland. On your marks and get set.
That one, Ilkka.
This then a battle between two hugely popular men, O.D. Wilson.
I can't believe Ilka's still going. He was too old when he started Strongman.
Forward.
And that was years ago.
Close to the ground.
Yes, Misto's got a good technique, but there's no technique at all on O.D. Wilson. This is just sheer power what's pulling this truck down here.
But this is giving him a fast time, 22 seconds on the clock.
This is really fast.
Oh, that is fast.
Down now, 25.04 seconds to win. And Namisto over in 35.62 seconds. Delight for Wilson, disappointment for Namisto. So the truck pool favourite Sigmason has to make do with third place, while Van den Bosch finishes a powerful second behind the mighty muscleman from America.
There you go, headings on the board.
Is there a danger with a guy of your size that you burn yourself up too early on?
Well, if you're not in shape, it's always a danger, whether you're this size or you're small. But I'm weighing 184 kilos. I'm in pretty good shape for a guy that weight, so no, I have no problem in burning myself up or anything like that. So I'm doing great.
What's the game plan?
Just to compete and have a good time. That's basically it.
And O.D. seems to be doing just that, having opened a 2-point lead after 2 events. Qiaoling Van den Bosch has moved to second at the expense of Adrian Smith.
They're all
and while
strength,
John Paul Sigmason has leapt into 4th place, he's still 6 points behind O.D. For event 3, we move to the edge of Yuensu and Lake Hyaselka. This naturally sandy cove is popular for bathing and boating. Successive generations here in North Karelia have used boats like this to take the entire family across the lake to church. Well, we're trying to reenact tradition today because it takes strong men to lift these down to the waterside. We're asking our competitors to lift this boat 40 feet long off its blocks. Only to make things worse, we're increasing the weights inside at every turn. Tactical awareness will play a major part in this event.
Let's just enjoy these shorts again. Yeah, do you like these?
Successive generations here in North Karelia have used boats like this to take the entire family across the lake to church. Well, we're trying to reenact tradition today because it takes strong men to lift these down to the waterside. We're asking our competitors to lift this boat 40 feet long off its blocks. Only to make things worse, we're increasing the weights inside at every turn.
Shorts.
Tactical awareness will play a major part in this event as competitors are allowed only 6 lifts in front of this large crowd. They must decide which weights to attempt and which to decline in order to reach their limit without wasting lifts. We join Adrian Smith, about to attempt 800 kilos, that's over 3/4 of a ton.
Right, come on, Adrian, lift that boat.
Prepare to lift. Stand your own time.
What we're looking for here is the trestle legs leaving the floor. The black and white legs. Like that.
Well done, Adrian.
Yes, success for Adrian at 800 kilos at the type of event he enjoys. Well, there are only 3 competitors left, so let's now join John Paul Sigmason going for the same weight on his 4th lift. But he's been struggling with a shoulder injury. Oh, he seems to be in real pain.
Looks like they're going to alter the stands to try and get John Paul more comfortable under the apparatus.
Well, he has 90 seconds. He's well within the limit.
Much better lift.
Get it up. Well done, John Paul.
Yes, the correct position and sheer guts carrying John Paul through. Well, now the weight increases to 825 kilos. And Ilka's team supports in different ways. A prayer from his wife, a slap in the face from his coach to psych up the Finnish champion.
Come on, Ilka.
Oh, Namisto looks purpose-built for this. A very comfortable lift.
Now O.D. Wilson, same weight again, his 4th lift.
Oh, that's just sheer back power.
Great appreciation for the strength of O.D. Wilson, having lifted the equivalent of a family-sized car on his back. But it's getting heavier all the time, and as John Paul Sigmason elects to increase his weight to 850 kilos for lift number 5, he's playing a game of poker with his rivals.
John Paul Singleton, prepare to lift in your own time. Lift!
Seems to have found a good lifting position this time again.
Yes, this is more like it from the former champion. But others are still in the hunt. Henning Thorsen is using his final lift to match John Paul's 850 kilos.
Henning looks cramped under the apparatus and he doesn't look comfortable to me.
It's not looking comfortable.
Back just seems too arched.
No, he's had enough. He's out. Disappointment for the Dane, but Britain's Adrian Smith is now attempting 850 kilos with his final lift.
Jamie seemed to think so, I'd imagine.
Adrian's looked so good up to now. I think he should have saved a few lifts and gone a little bit heavier than this.
Final lift for Adrian Smith.
Those are too short for a hospital,
He's playing his last card, so he must have this.
Once again, an easy lift. That's it, he's finished now.
Yes, very comfortable, but tactically, could he have been more ambitious?
Unfortunately, because I've not seen this before, and it's a new test, I had to gamble at what lifts to take, and I didn't want to jump too far, too quickly, and pull a muscle. So I went nice and steady up to the top. I think I'd have maybe had one more lift left, but you know, I'll know if this is ever in another competition.
Final lift for John Paul as he tries to leapfrog Smith with 875 kilos.
He did go a bit starboard, yeah. It's good to use correct boat language.
He needs these points very badly, Jamie.
Yes, he's got an injured shoulder. It makes you wonder whether it's worth pushing it on this first day of the competition. There's 2 more days to go.
Oh, no.
No, I think that's it. I think he's finished now.
Oh, no.
He looks hurt.
Oh, dear.
Well, not a good first day for John Paul, but he has proved before to be dangerous when he's behind.
There was a boat that fell on someone in 999. It really stayed with me. Only in...
meters, usually.
You must know your own limitations and stop just short of damaging yourself. But does the thought of serious injury worry you at all?
You go almost 100%, you know, but you still think all the time about injuries, and when you feel something is going to pop, you think twice. Yeah, it's getting tactical now. It's also getting hard, but it's going pretty well. Just let it all hang out on this last one.
Only 2 left in it now as Marku whips up the local choir to ensure Ilka has plenty of vocal backing for his final lift. The weight now is 925 kilos, over 2,000 pounds.
That's good to know.
Not as convincing as the other lifts, but still gets green lights.
But very power.
Well, only one man can deny the Finn outright victory.
I should be listening. I'm supposed to speak a little bit.
The same weight on his final lift, and the pressure's really on.
Odie's got his legs very wide apart to try and get lower, but I feel this is putting him in an inefficient lifting position. He looks very cramped.
It does look cramped.
No, he doesn't look comfortable at all.
Ilka wins.
Jubilation for Ilka's camp as OD concedes defeat. And the 46-year-old grandfather's performance has thrilled a large crowd, hoping to see their local hero succeed on the shores of Lake Payaselka. So Namister takes 4 points, while OD is unfaltering in his march with 7. Sigmason shares 3rd place with Adrian Smith. But the Finnish double act win the day.
When Markus starts slapping you around the face and shouting at you, does that help inspire you?
Auttaako Markku lyö naamaa? Mä sain puolet lisää voimaa Markulta. He got half more power from that.
Next week is my turn.
So at the end of day one, this is the overall position in the competition. That win gives Ilken Namister 5th place, just behind John Paul Sigmarsson, still lacking Viking inspiration. Smith and Van den Bosch have again swapped places, but way out in front, O.D. Wilson, and he's looking difficult to beat.
Yeah, he's really psyched up and gone for it today, O.D., but I think he knows today was his strong day, and he needs those points to get a good lead, which he has done perfectly.
Mobility won't be his strong point in the days to come.
I would imagine so, no.
Adrian must be pleased with his position, lying second, just 5.5 points off the lead.
Yes, and Adrian's got some good events to come too. The mobility events. Adrian's very agile, he's one of the lightest men. So Adrian poses a real threat to the lead tomorrow.
Would you be so bold as to pick a winner at this stage?
I still think Sigmarsson can come through and win.
O.D. is also leading the popularity stakes, but what did you do when not signing autographs or pumping iron?
I'm a bodyguard by profession. I escort people around with stars and movie stars and stuff like this, and when I'm not doing that, I'm a security guard.
What sort of people are you looking after then?
I look after, you probably haven't heard of Evelyn Champagne King, Janet Jackson, or Michael, and people like that.
Michael Jackson himself is a very...
You probably haven't heard of them, and then it's Janet and Michael Jackson.
A strange reputation. How do you get on with him?
He have a very strange reputation. He don't talk very much, but he seems to be intrigued with big people, so he's a real nice guy.
But certainly people wouldn't give him hassle when you're hanging around.
No, because they did. I let
He's
him.
intrigued with big people.
But it's
yeah, absolutely insane.
It's a lot of fun.
And this is 1990, right? So this is like
it's a lot of fun. And
almost the height of his fame.
I've done a few movies and things of this nature, so I'm always looking for opportunity to do something with a man. Like I said, when you're this size, people be staring at you like I got everybody looking at me like, where did he come from? What is this? But I kind of like it. It's a lot of fun.
Day 2 of the competition brings us to Outokumpu, some 50 kilometers from Joensuu. The town...
Almost definitely not how you pronounce that. I think there was an interview with Vincent Price and he didn't think that the UK had heard of Michael Jackson either. Okay, yeah, maybe they just don't. Yeah, is it Michael Jackson, the chief executive of Channel 4? Yeah, that would explain why he didn't lead with it. That would explain with it. What did he what's his best commission of other interests? Right, should we take a break before day 2? I think that's a good time to take a little break. Get ourselves a drink. We still haven't seen any nosebleeds, but the competition's young. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. And I'll add those hashtags in as well. So if anyone else has got any, maybe think of them during the break. Did that happen, Baldy? Did Alexandra Burke thought she invented the phrase elephant in the room? Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Right, here we go. Now, let's have some music on, shall we? Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Yeah, there we go. Right, okay. It's Big Lad's time. Oh, I'm fading. That's fading out slowly, isn't it? Right, I'm right here. Okay. Well, let's. Oh, we need to add our hashtags in. I'm still this nice big lad. Cowbunga indeed. Yeah, I should have. Yeah, I forgot to say cowbunga. Forgot to say cowbunga, possibly because of fear of reprisal from the Ninja Turtles. Okay. What do I need to add here? Oh, I needed to add this one about Denmark, didn't I? Go Henning from Denmark. Surprisingly not been tocked, has now. Oh, sorry. Go Henning from Denmark. And actually, is that all? Is that all for hashtags? Am I up to date? We'll be posting this at the end of the night. With whatever hashtags you provide. Oh yeah, Harry Bread Santa Baldy. If you want to add another hashtag, you can do. Yeah, Harry did donate. Yeah, but it was for a Pobot. I suppose you could have hashtag Lemon PT, but that's for Harry to decide. So yeah, keep those coming in. Anyone that subs donates can have a hashtag, as well as adding to the Pete Picks roll. Okay, that's Harry's order of business. Ireland's first play, yeah, that's good. That's good. Let's put that straight in. Ireland's first play. Thank you, Bread Sensor. No talks. Although Ireland's got talent, 362. Ireland's fittest family, 327 talks. There we go. Great. Let's go back to the world's strongest man, 1990.
Day 2 of the competition brings us to Outokumpu, some 50 kilometers from Joensuu. The town's copper mine is the source of its wealth, and the strength and work rate of its miners here a legend. Our competitors are stepping into their shoes as they attempt to carry 270 kilos of stones over 10 meters against the clock.
A feeling of camaraderie before event number 4, but it's the calm before the storm.
So this is the first of the cardiovascular events where everything has to work together.
Yes, well, coordination also, but it's an event we never had before, so you also
never had before.
See who has the most grain.
We've seen Kate's family fighting. I think that sets a high bar.
Laszlo Fegete, Hungary. Schalling, Van den Bosch, the Netherlands.
So what are they going to do here?
On your marks and get set.
Not only is this event against the clock, but the competitors must also load a minimum of 270 kilos into the railway
Jeff
trucks.
Cates
Each
was a
basket
big
will weigh
cardio
90
guy
kilos. That's a
for a
14-stone man.
Yes, the tall men are at an advantage putting the baskets on, whereas the short men are at a disadvantage, and both Laszlo and Charlie are very tall.
Well, Laszlo has the advantage. There's Charlie's first basket going on. Oh, he seems to have hurt himself
got
there.
a stone in his shoe.
Yes, it looked like an ankle or something. Could have strained an ankle running back.
Well, nevertheless, he's plodding on it, but going very quickly. This is a reasonable time, and both are shoveling hard.
Yes, it's a good race, too, between both of them.
Charling, despite any injury, is turning second.
Yes, it doesn't look like the ankle's bothering him now.
Up with that final push. Basket number 2 goes on.
It's a race now for the final basket.
So where's the pain for the competitors, Jamie?
The pain must be in the legs. The legs will be really feeling it now, running back and forth with the baskets. But I'm sure the backs are very tight from the boat lift yesterday and all the day's events.
Well, for a big man, Charlie's going very well, and he's struggling. There's the clock, 1:35. The time is going to be good. A final lift onto the truck, and it's there in 1 minute 41 for Van den Bosch. And Thickety's not far behind on 1:49.
Charlie's down.
And Laszlo's turn to emulate the Viking roars.
Nagyon nehéz versenyszám ez. Hát sajnos a derekam nem a legjobb, de úgy érzem aránylag sikerült. Talán még feljebb is tudok valamivel jutni, bizakodom itt a versenyszámokban, hogy az első 5-be talán mentesek. Thank you.
Frustration though for Chaling. Jamie, what's the problem?
Last year, the Achilles tendon actually ruptured and came away from the heel. He's had a major operation to attach the Achilles, and I think you're just trying to determine whether the tendons actually come off again or just strained. He must have felt it, and he carried on all three. So really, Charlie's took the gamble whether he can go on in the competition or whether he has to cease his challenge right now.
We join Henning Thorsen from Denmark, nearest us, against the Estonian professional wrestler Uspensky, each on their second basket. Henning's height of 6'3" will be an advantage in lifting these baskets over the smaller man.
Yes, Henning there, no problem putting that basket on. Perhaps having to lift the basket at the bottom to try and get that extra height when he gets to the car.
More of a struggle for the smaller man. A good effort.
Henning very fast with the shovel there. His technique on the shovel's fantastic.
Great technique on the shovel from Henning.
Yes, he's putting it more stable now so it doesn't tip over. But Henning's already on his third basket. Henning's coming to finish. This looks a very fast time.
Well done, Henning.
8 on the clock.
That's the winner. Has he got it on? Yeah, that looks like the winning time.
A time for the Great Dane, 1 minute 34, the fastest yet. But Uspensky is still battling on bravely. Very gutsy show from the smaller man, and he's enjoying himself.
This lad's not big enough.
He's almost there now.
Yeah, that's where he's gone wrong, isn't it?
1 minute 51. And Thorsen beginning to impress now.
I don't think it was that hard. I might even could have done a little bit faster if I had known it would be that easy.
Any clue as to why you're so quick with the shovel?
My work is as construction worker, and I usually do a lot of work with a shovel.
Meanwhile, if the crowd is concerned about Chaling's injury, the Dutchman's not.
The doctor's had a look at it. What's he said to you?
I need an interpreter.
But heat 3 now, and O.D. Wilson against Adrian Smith, first and second overall, and Adrian's trying new tactics.
Yes, Adrian looks like he's filling all three baskets. Odie's onto his second basket. Now it looks like a big tactical error for Adrian.
Oh dear, Adrian.
Odie's coming back now for his last basket, and Adrian hasn't loaded one yet.
Well, I wonder if panic will set in, because he's way behind the giant.
Yes, and that basket looks light. It only looks half full. He's just throwing it on.
Well, the problem there is that he has to reach 270 kilos. He could be underweight.
Yes, it's leaving a lot to do on this last basket, but it doesn't look like he's got any stones left to load.
Final effort to lift this one up. Oh, he's lost some kilos there.
Oh, he's lost some kilos.
And he really needs a big third basket.
I look rather discouraged by that, because OD is on his third basket and almost ready to go.
Looks like Adrian's lost it. His momentum's gone. He seems to be panicking now.
The stones are scattered all over the place. It's impossible to find them.
Yes, he's only putting half shovelfuls in.
Only half shovelfuls,
Adrian. His trainer's letting him down. Surely he should be advising him.
His trainer should have told him. Odie's off on his third, but Adrian's trainer's let him go with half a basket on his third one. He's got to be underweight now, surely.
And Adrian's slow as well at 2 minutes 10. OD, by contrast, was light on his feet for a big man, but Adrian's failed to make the weight. It's a tactical disaster for him.
I thought I'd try something different, load them all together, but I didn't imagine that the stones would scatter.
On your mark, get set!
The final heat, and the two men with much to prove. John Paul Sigmarsson, that he's not out of this title race. Ilkka Nemister, that he's worth the very considerable local support. And already these two are loading very quickly, Jamie.
Yes, they've set off at a blistering pace. I'm just wondering if they can keep this up through the whole heat. They're both taking very big baskets, full to the top. They're both very fast with the shovel.
Sigmarsson at his best, but Nemister's sticking with him all the way.
Yes, this is one of the events where Sigmarsson excels, and he's very explosive and very fast. This is just up his street, but Nemister seems to be sticking with him all the way.
Remember, Henning Thorsen, the Dane, has the leading time of 1 minute 30.
Sigmarsson nearly slipped then.
He did, yeah.
The baskets are really, really heavy, which he's taking. He's struggling now to get this basket on. And Nemister's took the lead.
Got in the lead.
And Misto's going like a rocket.
There's a head-to-head between these two. 1:34 the time to beat.
Sigurdsson's going, he feels he's got enough weight.
Look at the clock, he's inside him.
Yes, this is the fastest heat by far, that's the winner, surely.
1:24, a remarkable time, and Nemista behind him, 1:26, tremendous. Sigurdsson's first win of the competition. Great spirit between the men who share Viking inspiration.
What does he mean?
And the Icelanders back in business.
You,
Never
and
Anthony
you,
Finnish Vikings.
and you thought I would finish. I'm Icelandic, I'm not finished. I would not be here if I thought I was going to lose. I always think I'm going to win. It is better to have a bad start and a good end than a good start and bad end.
So, halfway through the contest for the Daft Trophy, John Paul leaps into second place behind OD. Ilke and Challing are lying handy, but Adrian's tactical gamble drops him 3 costly places. Close by, another monument to Outokumpu's industrial past, soon to be transformed as part of a multi-million-pound golf and leisure complex, golf being Finland's fastest-growing sport. It promises to be an example of Karelian industrial reclamation at its very best. If it's as successful as the Mining Museum, it'll prove another striking example of Finnish industrial preservation.
Well, we've moved inside the Outokumpu mine now, internationally renowned for its export of copper around the world. It's also well known in this part of Finland for its trawl legend, hence this fellow here. Well, another great legend of this competition, John Paul Sigurdsson, is beginning to stamp his mark on the championship.
John Paul attempting 110 kilos, 16 stones on his first lift.
Yes, a very easy lift for John Paul. It looked well within his capabilities.
Well, let's see if Smith can match that.
Prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
Adrian's first attempt at the same weight.
Yes, he's got to get this up to his shoulders and then all to his hands from the pull into the push position. But he looks a little off balance at the moment.
And this feels like a good candidate for a nosebleed event, doesn't it?
Final thrust required from Smith. And he's there. Well, John Paul looking on impassively as Henning Thorsen, having cleared 110 kilos, is leaping forward to 120. But a far more awkward stone, Jamie.
Yes, this is a very big stone. It looks very, very awkward. Henning being the second tallest competitor behind O.D. Wilson. He's got quite a way to push this rock.
Come on. 10 seconds to go. You can do it.
Well done, Henning.
Well, not so convincing, but they've given it to him.
O.D. Wilson, prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
Wilson's elected to go to 120 kilos on his third lift. Well, this kind of event should suit him, really.
Yes, I don't think this will prove too much trouble for O.D.'s massive upper body strength.
Yeah. Good lift, down.
Yeah, very easy lift.
And as the competition goes on, he's looking increasingly stronger, Jamie.
Look, we're only on
yes,
this.
he's getting stronger by each
we're
event.
only in the second day.
Laszlo Fekete, prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
Right,
Very much home territory for Laszlo Fekete, the Hungarian millstone throwing champion. Of all the techniques on display, Jimmy, his should be the best.
Yes, I think he'll use the same technique as the millstones, up onto his head and then a simple lock of the arms. Yes.
Success on a third lift at 120 kilos. No wonder he's delighted he made it look so easy.
There you go, classic technique, classic millstone technique.
Now the turn of John Paul at the same weight.
Sorry, I hadn't noticed John Paul's got a ponytail
before this tricky stone.
Yes, he looks really psyched up for
That's
this
new
lift.
for the 90s, isn't it?
John Paul Sigurdsson, prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
Well, he won the last event, Jamie. He's got to keep the momentum going.
Yes, he's at home lifting stones. He's got a very smooth technique.
18 stones balancing in his chest.
And an easy press.
He's done it.
Here we go.
Oh, he's really smoking now.
Really smoking.
It takes two ordinary mortals to haul the next stone, the 125-kilo rock, into position.
Tom in the chat, good to
O.D.
all
Wilson
mortals.
next, his fourth attempt.
O.D. Wilson, prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
O.D.'s enormous size makes that rock look like a brick, but it's no easy task, Jamie.
No, it's the equivalent of lifting a 20-stone man above his head.
Yes. Come on, Robbie.
It's up to his shoulders. He's just got to try and swap his arms round and get his balance.
A great analogy.
He looks well positioned here.
Going for the press now.
Oh, he's come down on his head.
Come down on his head.
This must have knocked his concentration off this. It looks like he's hanging in there.
Another attempt.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, he's lost it.
Well, all he got was a headache for his efforts. Food for thought after seeing that, but now it's the turn of Fekete, same weight.
Laszlo Fekete, prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
Come on.
Come on, Laszlo.
Well, these arms and shoulders will really hurt at this weight.
Yes, and don't forget if Fekete gets this lift, he goes into the lead. It's the same technique he's using. We'll see it go up onto the head. And once again now, just a simple lock of the arms.
Well, he's confident.
Oh no, not this time. The weight's starting to take its toll on Fekete.
Oh.
He's really struggling with this one.
Come on, Laszlo.
Go on, Laszlo. Oh, he's got it.
Yes, he's been given it.
Fekete makes 125 kilos. Henning Thorsen and John Paul Sigmarsson both attempted 130 kilos but failed. And we pick it up at the same weight with Adrian Smith, only his second lift. Is this another gamble?
Adrian Smith, prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
Well, Jamie, if he gets this, it's a world record.
Yes, but he's only had one warm-up lift before this. If he gets this, he gets the full 8 points too.
Oh, God, Adrian.
Very ambitious, but he was quick to get it onto the shoulders.
Yes, it looks very awkward though. It looks as if he's in his face and he can't get his balance.
It does look at his face, doesn't it? Oh!
Yes, it's right in his face, that rock. He's got to press it this time.
No.
No, he just can't get his balance.
That's disastrous. It'll cost him dearly.
Cost him dearly.
So the man with the eyes of steel, Laszlo Fekete, takes 8 points with O.D. Wilson, John Paul Sigmarsson and Henning Thorsen all sharing second.
Laszlo.
Again, inexperience taking its toll for Adrian.
Knowing that you had a total of 6 pulls and all 6 attempts here, shouldn't you perhaps have tried to ease your way up, or would that have drained the power?
Well, I thought I'd save the power. I did 110, and then I looked at the 130, and it was a nice shape. And I was positive I would do it. And I thought I'd go for broke. And, you know, I got it up there, but I had to fight to get a decent handhold. And on the day, I didn't press it. But, I mean, I've pressed a lot more weight than that on a bar, and I just thought that I would be able to do it.
So another
dear,
chance gone for
Adrian.
Smith as Thorsen moves into third place after 5 events. At the top, still only
Well,
1.5
Henning's up at the
points
top
between
three now.
O.D. and John Paul.
How do you rate John Paul in terms of sheer strength, a strength competitor?
Too much. He's very strong. He's looking strong for his 4th title this time. I said before the competition that I thought he'd win a 4th title, and even when he missed a few events, people were saying no, he's not going to do it. I still knew he'd come through.
At the end of day 2, we return to Joensuu to move inside the region's largest hotel. A big crowd has gathered to watch an event featuring specially made replicas of another of Joensuu's trademarks, padlocks. But these weigh 56 pounds and have to be held at arm's length. It's an event feared by most competitors.
Well, Adrian, a couple of setbacks earlier on today, but is this very much your joker?
Well, hopefully, not a joker, an ace. I need
Not
to
a
really
joker,
score
an ace.
highly on this. Because if I don't, there's only 2 events left tomorrow.
Right. Adrian's
and
specialist
they
event,
could be
holding
anyone's,
2
really.
massive padlocks.
So I need this as a good buffer.
Now, you're still out there on top. Will you be on top after this?
This is locked over, isn't it?
I don't know. I wish I could look and see.
Into heat 1 then, John Paul Sigmarsson against Charling van den Bosch. Where's the pain, Jamie?
It's all in the shoulders. The shoulders start burning as they start going into the pain barrier. And Charlie looks like he's wavering. He's gone already.
Disappointing time for him.
John Paul's got to hang on now.
And
No,
he's gone
finished.
after 34. That's disastrous.
It's disastrous.
Heat 2, it's Fekete and Numisto.
These two look very evenly matched. They're both looking at each other and hanging in there. The shoulders and backsides have got to keep well against the boards. We've got referees watching that.
Much better times as Fekete laughs off the pain.
Yes, Numisto looks like he's wavering.
He's come on 36 seconds.
And the referees have stopped Laszlo.
A red flag at 38.
Yes, his backside came away from the wall.
Backside came away from the wall.
Well, there's an example
So
of
would
the
Rory
camaraderie
Kinnear be
which
at a
exists among these
disadvantage with
very
this one?
specialised strength athletes.
You'd have to get closer into the
Heat
wall.
3, Odie Wilson against Henning Thorsen. And Thorsen already wavering. The strain's too much for him.
Henning can lift a big padlock.
This looks like the kind of event which Odie Wilson can excel in, those massive shoulders and arms. He's really concentrating and going through the pain barrier. It must be burning now.
Time's looking good for him. He's beaten John Paul and Yoka.
He's out there on his own. He knows he's just got to keep with it.
Ahead of Fekete.
This is a good time for OD.
And that's enough to snatch the lead. 42 seconds.
Just stretching his arms and shoulders. It looks like he's got a little bit of cramp.
Final heat. Only Adrian Smith and
Right.
Apu Spencer
Yeah,
can
Adrian
prevent
said
Odie
this is
from
his
winning
ace
a
event.
second event.
Holding a big padlock.
Yes, Adrian should really excel in this event with his short arms and strong shoulders. Plus, Adrian really needs these points if he's got to go and make a serious challenge today.
He calls this one his ace.
Oh, he's fucked it.
Oh no, that's disaster for Adrian.
And
For
Spencer, 30
Adrian.
seconds for him, 25 for Smith.
I had a cramp in my back. I was really steady, and then my back just locked, and I had a cramp, and I just bang, had to put it down. This should have been my best event.
Oh, dear.
You know, so I did prove to be the joker, not the ace.
But it's another ace for OD as he takes
Thinks he said
maximum
something really
points.
clever
Fekete
there,
grabs
doesn't he?
second place with Numisto third, while Sigmarsson is fourth in his least favourite event. We return to the edge of Lake Pyaselka for the final day of competition and to the Linnunlahti Stadium where many of UNSO's music festivals are held. And with only 2 events remaining, here's the position. Odie Wilson has extended that lead over John Paul to 4.5 points. Ilkka Numisto has moved into third place in front of Laszlo, Adrian and Charling. The third and final day of competition begins with another traditionally Scandinavian event. The anvil lift hasn't been tried before in World's Strongest Man, but the results will have a profound effect on this year's championship. What are the technical
isn't in
difficulties in lifting
Scandinavia.
First of all, there's 5 anvils, ranging from 120 to 160 kilos. The short guys are going to have an advantage lifting it off the floor, but the bigger guys will have an advantage putting it on the platform.
They need to be fast as
They're
well as against the clock.
Vikings.
Fast,
They're not
strong and fit,
Scandinavia.
cardiovascular.
Another vast crowd is gathered to see the grand finale.
Okay, welcome to Mexico. On your mark, you get set.
Well, Ilkka didn't exactly get his ears boxed this time, but let's see if he's pumped up nonetheless.
Oh, so this is like the Atlas stones, but with
his
anvils.
elbow, which is giving him the extra height when he gets to the platform.
Now they're heavier on one side rather than the other, aren't they?
Yes, they're very unevenly balanced.
This could be Henning's
Doesn't seem to be
comeback.
having any
Yeah,
problem lifting
he's
them
good
off
at
the
lifting an
floor.
anvil.
Very sprightly for a 46-year-old.
Yes, let's see how he handles these 2 last heavy ones.
Even the mayor's getting pumped up.
Look at the mayor getting into it.
Last anvil.
Here he goes with the big one. Oh, that looks heavy.
And it's there in 39 seconds.
Well done, Ilkka.
Henning Thorsen
Right,
from
here's
Denmark
Henning.
next.
The mayor's got a dog as well.
On your mark, you get set.
Well, Jamie, he was good loading stones. Can he load anvils?
Yes, it looks to be the platform height poses no problem for Henning.
Yeah, he's good at loading things.
Quite nimble on his feet too for a big man.
3 down, 2 to go. Up to 150 kilos now.
Yes, I think it's starting to take its toll now on Henning.
The arms must be agony, but the time's good.
This looks like being the leader. I think he's going to beat Ilka.
He's there.
Oh, I don't have any.
34 seconds.
I'm sure they'll cut to him again. I have other interests. The mayor's sat there in a big chain, really getting into it. He's got a little dog with him.
Sigmarsson takes centre stage, growing more desperate by the minute to win back the crown, held by the man beside me, Jamie Reeves from Sheffield. OD can stop him. Not if his trainer Halfie has anything to do with it.
John Paul Sigmarsson, Iceland, on your mark and get set.
No.
3 times holder of the world crown, John Paul Sigmarsson bursting into life, tossing that like a pebble, Jamie.
Yes, he looks like he's bursting with energy. He knows he's got to win this event to stand any chance of catching OD.
Oh, he's on fire this time. He's desperate to win.
Yes, this is the 3rd one going on. It looks a very fast time.
More than 20 stones there.
He's checking those angles.
Oh, he's working now. He's on to the last one. It looks the fastest time.
Oh, the time's great. 27 seconds. Every chance of winning the event.
It's on.
Well done, John
31
Paul.
seconds.
How fired up were you?
I was very fired up. Very.
Now do you believe you can win this championship?
I told you from the beginning, I am going to win. And of course I believe in it.
I think you're like the Vikings who are cheering you on.
Yeah. This is a Viking country. And I'm a Viking.
On O.D. Wilson, USA.
No Viking blood in this man's body, but he's managed all right without it so far.
Really
Blaster
a
on
Viking
OD.
country.
O.D. Wilson, USA, on your mark and get set.
Now he's a very big man, Jimmy. That must be a problem here.
Yes, we've got to see if we've got an answer to John Paul's challenge.
He's looking fairly nimble.
He's not turning his massive bulk around, he's just skipping back for them.
That's more the technique of a boxer. He used to be one.
Yes, he's saving time too.
Is that the technique of a boxer? He sort of hops backwards.
Let's see the clock.
This is really fast. This could be the winning time.
Oh, come on, OD. He's got it. What does the mayor think? That was good, wasn't it?
I hate for people to overlook me like I'm not there. It makes me mad. And now I'm mad. I will win. I will win. OD will win.
John Paul Sigmarsson, your greatest rival, was applauding you all the way there.
I was applauding him, but I heard him say he would win the competition. That fired me up. I will win.
It seems now you've
I will win.
Do you believe you can still win? It's very difficult now.
I am something like 5.5 points behind. It will be very tough, but I'm going to try anyway.
Confirmation of OD's outstanding victory over John Paul in the type of event normally dominated by the Icelander.
Yeah, well
and
done,
Torsten's
OD.
back in the points again in his battle with Nemisto. But if John Paul is to win this competition for a record...
Hang on, let's just look at this. He is a few points ahead. OD's got it. Surely. So let's just have a quick look at the mayor.
There's 5 anvils, ranging from 120 to 160 kilos. The short guys are going to have an advantage lifting it off the floor, but the bigger guys will have an advantage putting it on the platform.
They need to be fast as well. It's against the clock.
Rather than the other, aren't they?
Yes, problem lifting how he handled.
Right, here's the mayor.
Even the 39
In
seconds.
a minute, we do get to see his dog. There it is.
Henning Thorsen from Denmark next.
There we are. There we are. The mayor of, I don't know if it's the mayor of Joensuu, or I think they might be in Lahti now. There's the mayor. There's the mayor's dog. Mayor's wife, presumably mayor's son. What a bunch of lads.
He knows he's got to win this event to stand.
Okay, but OD's in the lead, right?
No Viking blood.
Yeah, he's fired up.
dominated by the Icelander, and Torsten's back in the points again in his battle with Nemisto. But if John Paul is to win this competition for a record-breaking 4th time, he has to beat OD by 6 clear points. Having witnessed the determination, not to mention the fury of the American, that's a tall order.
It's fitting that for the final event here in Joensuu, we're travelling back in time to the days when most Finns built their own homes. Well, our competitors are helping out on the building site this afternoon by carrying this hod weighing 100 kilos, some 16 stones, over 200 metres. If you like it, do it yourself with a vengeance.
We pick it up in the 3rd heat
look at this outfit.
putting in a storming run to finish in a time of 52.75 seconds. That set a really blistering pace. But all eyes now are on the showdown between OD and John Paul. Can the Icelander really salvage 6 points?
It's never over before it's over. So we have a little hope. John Paul will run. This should be the run of his life. So he has everything to win, but it might not be enough. But we have to see.
These are all good head
John Paul
shoulders.
Sigmarsson, Odie Wilson, on your mark.
Okay, this is the big one.
John Paul Sigmarsson simply has to win this event and in under 52 seconds to stand any chance of winning the competition.
That's right, and OD must finish 12 seconds behind him to win the title. But the bricks are looking very low on OD's back. He wants to get them really high on his shoulders.
Oh, OD
like
getting left behind.
Himself, but I don't know whether it's enough.
Look at the speed of John Paul Sigmarsson and Halti Andersson following him every inch of the way.
But it looks like OD's more than 12 seconds behind him. The other competitors are running over, trying to spur OD on and make him run faster.
Sigmarsson accelerating all the time now.
OD looks like he's tiring really, really badly.
And Halti's watching that clock. Every second's going past, but look at the time. He's approaching the finishing line. He's got to beat 52. And he's done it!
He's done it!
Oh.
OD's got to finish in under 1 minute 4 now to assure himself of the title.
It's a struggle. Let's see how the time is.
Oh, no.
Oh, what a turnaround.
Oh, what a cruel way to lose. OD must be devastated. It's a shame there's got to be a loser at this class of competition.
I told you all the time! I told you! I bloody told you!
He did
well,
tell
this
us to
huge crowd can scarcely believe what they've seen. John Paul Sigmarsson has overturned OD's 5.5-point lead and by less than 2 seconds has earned 1st place. From the new champion, nothing but respect for OD.
Oki, he surprised me a lot. Hell of a lot. You know, he's in such a good shape for such a big man. And number one, he's a very good guy.
Is there something special about this inner Viking strength of yours?
As a kid, I started to read the Icelandic sagas, and I was very impressed. So I just tried to do the same, but of course I can't chop heads of people. I have to do it my way in competitions against giants. Sigmarsson, he's a tough guy. He's strong and he's fast. He got good size and he got power.
Did you say he's got good thighs?
I'm not taking anything away from Sigmarsson, but I feel within myself that when it comes down to pure strength, I am the strongest man on this planet. I may not be able to run. I may not have to jump over a bus, but I can move anything on this planet. And I'm coming back to this competition if I'm invited. And I promise you that I will be steady in the #1. I promise you that.
So after 3 days of competition, a mere half a point separates these two great strength athletes. Ilka, the grandfather, is 3rd, Thorsten 4th in his debut, and a wiser Adrian Smith is 5th.
Well done. No champion. He is still a champion. He's not been beaten. So I will meet him next year in a bloody good competition.
Next year for another fight.
But that's for tomorrow. Today's champion is John Paul Sigmarsson, paying tribute to OD before taking his rightful position. And so Mr. Chris Thornycroft-Smith, Marketing Director of
Yeah,
Daft Trucks, presents a trophy and a £5,500 cheque to this charismatic champion. For a record 4th time, John Paul Sigmason is the world's strongest man.
It's only been Bill Kazmaier, then it was Jeff, then it was John Paul, then Jamie won it last year. So what's he getting towed along on? Oh, there we go. Okay, no, we don't want to watch World's Strongest Man 93. Right, there we go. That was World's Biggest Lad 1990. Yeah, it does feel tough for OD. He was only half a point away.
From the United States.
Half a point away. Oh, okay. It's half a point away. There's a shame. Yeah, piss indeed. And also, we didn't see a nosebleed, did we? It was a no nosebleed year. 1990, no nosebleeds. So I'll pay out that prediction. I'll pay out that prediction. It was a no nosebleed year. I don't think we did see a speaking woman. No, we saw Ilka's wife, didn't we? But I don't think we heard her say anything. Which is a shame. So it's no one all counts. I really thought when they were dropping those stones on their head, someone was going to get a nosebleed. But it didn't happen. Because they're pros, aren't they? They're pros. Okay, shall we... Yeah, imagine I have other interests. That would have been a dream scenario, wouldn't it? A dream scenario. Let's take another little break, and then we'll come back and we'll watch Pure Strength. Pure Strength 1990. And see if we get any nosebleeds there. Okay, anyone else has got any hashtags to add to the TikTok? I'll do that when I come back. You got a nosebleed this morning just from going out of bed? Yeah, exactly. So you would have thought if you had to lift a big wheelbarrow of bricks or whatever they were doing. Yeah, exactly. I think it was a good chance. Also, think of a prediction we can do for Pure Strength. It could be the time that, the amount of near death or serious injury we see. Because Pure Strength has been pretty unregulated, the previous ones. But who knows? Maybe they've tightened it up this year. Oh dear. A lot of people claiming to know where the best viewers are. I don't think they do. Why don't you give Bread Santa a follow? If you're a bot, give Bread Santa a follow, you know? He loves them. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. We'll watch Pure Strength. Right, see you in a minute, everyone. Cowabunga. Okay. Cowabunga. It's Big Lad time. Here we go. Thank you, Bread Santa, for your pro-bot sentiment. I think I prefer, the chat to be mainly real people. But who am I to turn away viewers? I think we're a nice accepting community. Okay, let's watch some Pure Strength. It's not very yoke of me. Well, I just said we were accepting. Big follows. Big follows. Did I say big follows? Cowabunga, yeah, you're right, Big Papa. I am not fully committing to the cowabunga, man. It's costing me. It's costing me. That's what bots say. Do bots say big follows? If there are any bots in the chat, if they can confirm whether or not they say big follows. Yeah, cowabunga's in the chat for cowabunga. It's also a kinder big fellows pun. It's okay. Look, I don't think there's any more hashtags in on there. Do I have to? Baldy, I think you can add another hashtag if you want because you donated for Jackie Weaver. Oh yeah, there you go. There's a bot. There's a bot. And they've said big follows. There's bot Santa there. Oh, also, has anyone got an idea for a prediction we can do for Pure Strength, which is like a team-based World's Strongest Man with people themselves? That's it. Yeah, okay. I'll add that in, Baldy. I'll add that in. No problem. Let's see how many talks it already has. You've been looking up a strongman diet, and it seems to include a lot. Seem to include cheesecake. Right, there we go. No tox, so there we go. Yeah, that is a good one, Bread Santa. We could do. Will there be a mention of Bill Kazmaier loving the pipes? Because I think we will see Bill. If we don't, that's going to lower the chances this happens, doesn't it? So you are partly betting on that. Yeah, okay, we'll do. Will there be a mention of Bill's love of the pipes? Okay, it's a simple yes or no. It's a simple yes or no. Well, they mentioned Bill's love affair with the pipes. Okay, get your channel points in. Here we go. Okay, and it's time for Pure Strength. For the last time. 1990 is the last year it runs. Oh. Okay, here we go. It does have a good theme tune. So let's make sure we've got the audio on. We do. Okay, here we go. The World Strength Athlete Championships. It's a good gropey.
Hello and welcome to glorious Gateshead, the venue for this
We're
year's
in Gateshead.
National Garden Festival and also for the 1990 World Strength Athlete Championship. Now there are 16 separate events in this competition, and even if, like me, you consider yourself a bit of a fitness fanatic and bigger and stronger than the average, I wouldn't recommend that you try any of them, because our
it's in
competitors
the northeast
are
of
real
England,
giants, some of the
near
strongest
Newcastle.
men in the world. Now there are 4 two-man teams competing for the Trebor Super Strength Trophy. So let's meet them.
Started lifting weights at the age of 19.
Oh, it's Adrian again, Bobby Davro.
Rugby all through school, and then from a local club in Corby, and decided it wasn't quite for me. And,
Holder of the World Bricklift Records.
I'm relatively inexperienced at the strongman stuff. This is my
Bell.
first big break, because most of my competitors are a lot older than I.
Yeah, we
a
can,
lot
yeah.
longer. So this is a great chance of me picking up some experience and starting off in my strongman bid.
The winter in Iceland is stark and cold, so we do a lot of powerlifting, train just in the gym, indoor, all the time, because we have the equipment and the will to
Iceland's
do it.
strongest man.
And there are no excuses because we have everything there. Then I'm doing powerlifting.
Ah, here's
training
Magnus.
usually 4 times a week, about 3 to 5 hours each time. Then I'm doing this, a little bit of running, things like that.
I've been bank manager for 5 years, and I'm now full pro strength athlete. In the summer months, I live in a little village called Achtermochti, where I also do some little work in a
strongest man,
flower and
1990.
shop.
I train about 5 days in a week, about 1.5 to 2 hours a day. And then on Saturdays is the day for the truck pull.
Ted's 7 foot tall.
I've stopped powerlifting over the last 4 or 5 years and concentrated very hard on strongman competitions, where I've won 3 of the world's strongest men titles. And I probably will keep doing strong.
Can you not hear the lads? Is anyone else having a problem hearing the lads? Because hang on, I might hang on. Let me see what I can do. Let's see if this helps with the lads. Brad Santa can hear the lads.
Man, until I'm 40, 45.
My hobbies are I really do like spending time with little kids and trying to steer them in the right direction and make sure that they don't take some of the wrong paths that maybe I've took it in the past.
Well, the man who's devised many of our tests and our referee for this week, the final arbiter, Jeff Cape.
Hi.
Jeff, they're really designed to test every sort of strength, aren't they?
Well, this is it. First, we must remember it's a team competition. There's 2 men per team, and what they've got to do is help each other.
Okay,
the
Jeff's
tests are really devised to test all parts of the body. It's not just a skill event, it's a strength event, it's an endurance event. So it will sort the men out from the boys.
Right, and the first event is one that's all about local muscular endurance.
Got a question,
Just got these
Shai-Hulk,
2
no problem.
claymores here. Each of them weighs about 40 pounds, and our athletes have to hold them out horizontal and keep them horizontal as long as possible.
That's right.
Just to exaggerate the effect of dropping the arms, there's a silver salver complete with glass of wine on the tips of each pair of claymores. The moment the glass falls, the team is eliminated. The rules are very strict. Any bending of the top arm is forbidden. The big Americans looking relaxed.
Yeah, they did do this last time.
The Europeans looking good too. The Icelanders happy, but the Brits already the lightest pair in the competition, showing the strain.
No. Come on, the Brits.
A quick check on how his partner's doing from Helti Arneson. The Europeans still in good control. And now
I feel it was
the
unfair
British
that
pair
many students didn't get the
really
book
under
they wanted
pressure.
because Buffy was always backflipping off a Dracula in
Fighting
the
to
library, so
hold
they
it.
couldn't get the book they needed.
A quick look
So I
to
think
see how the
Gyro
others
should
are
have opened
doing.
the clubhouse for the Buffy
And that
games
won't be
and circular,
reassuring.
allowing the students to study.
And the British pair are the first eliminated.
Oh dear.
The Europeans now in trouble.
Yeah, Gyro should have known better.
Theirs goes, and immediately the Icelanders who've been holding on
The Americans
surrender. The Americans, having heard 3 crashes, know that they've won.
Yeah, Britain fucked it there, didn't
Technique-wise, you seemed at one stage to sort of close the eyes and try and put yourself into some
The
sort of
level's only
trance. Does it
better
help
now.
not to think about it?
Well, without a doubt, you've got to have mental concentration, and you transfer that through the motor pathway to the muscle and just lock in.
Do you try and think of other things, or do you concentrate on the sword, Dozy?
Yeah, I've been away from my girlfriend for a long time now. I've been thinking about her, so it relaxes me a little bit.
Would you think that physique-wise, you were well suited to that event? I mean, the guys with the longer arms are going to have problems, aren't they?
I think we both got really long arms, but as you can see, Hoji's really massive in the shoulder, and it's all the shoulder muscle that's helping you hold it up. And the other guys are a little bit smaller than we are, all the way across the shoulders. They have some really good events, though. They're really good in the legs. You know, they're going to be some strong kids.
So, an early lead for the Americans, 10-8-6-4.
Why is Europe a team? And it's two Dutch guys, isn't it? Why is the Dutch team called Europe? Why are the 4 teams USA, Iceland, Europe, Great Britain?
4 for scoring in each event.
Oh, there's a tram.
The trample is the first individual event, and this beautiful old Gateshead vehicle weighs 16.5 tons. One member of each team has to pull it over 25 meters of track. The order has already been drawn, and the first to go, donning the harness, Brian Bell of Great Britain.
Keep driving, whatever you do. Right, are you ready?
Bell has never tried this event before, but he knows the start is crucial.
Never tried to pull a tram. You never tried to pull a tram.
If it's metal to metal,
You wouldn't, would you?
Sliding surface. Well, it's going to be all down the frontal thighs, I think. It's all the way.
Now we get your channel point pattern, so you think they're going to mention that Bill Caswell really loves bagpipes.
Tell me when you're ready.
Okay.
You ready? Set!
Go on, Brian. Pull that tram.
And Bell gets that 16.5-ton vehicle moving smoothly.
Got it going.
Pulling now like a veteran, keeping his body as horizontal as possible and making good time.
Come on, Brian.
Change of surface there and a few slips, but for a first effort, that's a tremendous time for Brian Bell, 37.3 seconds. Bill Kazimir next to go.
Are you ready? Get in position.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Set!
And the giant American makes no secret of his feelings after all that psyching up for the event.
Bill's harness exploded.
Now that's what I call power.
Well, ready to go again. This time, a thicker, stronger rope. And Kasimir's completed his build-up.
You ready? Ready? Set!
That was the one thing that didn't want to happen, yeah.
And Kasimir struggling with his footing and coming upright. He's got it moving well now, but did he come up right too early?
Careful, careful,
too early, Bill.
Yes, break. All right, get it off him.
34 seconds into the lead. Happy with it?
No, not at all. The terrain was real rough. I found myself coming up looking for places to put my feet, and I was too high. I just didn't stay down.
So you think you could probably have taken a couple of seconds off that?
No, half a second though. And we'll see what the other two boys do, but they may come down a half a second.
Why have you got
real good
so close into his face?
So 34 seconds now, the time to beat. Next to go, Helti Arnason of Iceland. A little bit of psyching up from his teammates. The Icelanders won this championship last year, and they know that their strong events are the explosive ones. This is one they desperately want to win. Arnason showing great technique, getting almost horizontal. And keeping the power on, the rope never slackening.
Watch the wood, watch the wood.
A great pull, he's almost running across the finish line. And a fantastic time, 31.1 seconds. Well, you've got the best time, I can tell you, so far. 3 seconds better than Bill Casimir.
Oh, very good. I'm pleased. You know, sometimes we wonder. We train so hard all the winter, 3-4 hours, maybe 6 days a week. Then when I really get into it, I think of stuff like my son, my family, and the people in Iceland who are proud of us, so we won't let them down.
You ready?
Yeah. Another man who really fancied his chances in this event was Charlie van der Bosch for Europe. But immediately he struck trouble. He just couldn't get the thing started.
Oh, Charlie.
Eventually, he gives up and protests to the referee that something's wrong, and it was discovered that the dead man's handle, the brake on the old lady, hadn't been fully released.
Oh, no.
He's allowed to go again, but just how much has that first effort taken out of him?
The brake was on the old lady. Yeah, yeah, something like that happened last time.
A storming second half to the pull, though. He's really worked up a head of steam as he comes to the wooden sleeper section at the end. And he's there. The time, 33.1, and that gives him second place.
It was an incredible throw part.
Charlie, no false starts that time.
Oh, it's difficult with a brake on, but I showed I could do it when the brakes were off.
Yeah, his name's not Charlie.
The legs were a little bit like jelly pudding, I think, but I'm okay now.
You feel you would have gone faster if it had all gone right from the start?
If doesn't count in sport. Actually, not in your life, if doesn't count. This is how it was, and this is how it happened. That's it.
So victory for Iceland, 10 points for them.
Hey,
Europe
Iceland
coming
win.
second, and the USA relegated to third place. Great Britain, again, sadly last. And the overall placings, Iceland take the lead. The USA down in second place, Europe third, Great Britain fourth.
No, Britain have left
Next it's time for the other team member to
haven't they?
stand on his own. And then the two men in harness again. Join us again for that after the break. Welcome back. Well, event 3 is again for an individual in the team, the one who didn't take part in the tram pull. It's quite simply a brick lift. These are 3 kilos Jacobean heavy. It's a little heavier than the normal house brick, which weighs about 2 kilos. And the world record for this lift is held by our referee, Jeff Cates, with 25 of them. I can just about lift 6. I might even manage 8, but certainly not anymore. Our competitors will start with 12. Every time they succeed with a lift, Jeff Cates will add on another 2 bricks, and it's quite simply the one who lifts most. Well, there were no problems. All the competitors lifted 12, 14, 16 and 18. but on his first lift at 20 bricks, Magnus Magnusson failed. He must now make this lift or go out of the competition.
And Magnus lift 20 bricks. He has left the brakes on the bricks.
More encouragement from his teammate Helti Arneson. Looking to set the brick back on his chest, but he doesn't make it. And a disappointment for Iceland. Great Britain's Adrian Smith is a real expert at this event. He holds the world record for the lighter bricks. Has lifted 29 of them and confidently expects to win this one. Odie Wilson is not so confident. He went out at 18 bricks last year, but this time has improved enormously.
Bring them back. Come on.
Now trying 22 bricks. And he makes the lift. And the massive Ted Vandenparre from Belgium.
Go on, Ted.
7 feet tall.
Oh, because he's Belgian. That's why they're Team Europe.
Arm length.
They
it should help him, but he's
guys.
struggling. And yet somehow he gets those bricks under control. And he too lifts 22.
Yeah, I think they're still
Smith
heavy,
now,
Big Papa.
in at 22.
But they're also awkward, aren't they? Yeah, they are Team Benelux.
He's got them nicely balanced.
Oh no.
But just as he goes for it,
First attempt.
something goes in the left bicep.
Oh no.
He can't believe it, but he's in problems, and Adrian Smith was forced to retire from the competition.
Oh.
He tried the second lift, but without any chance of success. So now at 24, Odie Wilson, the giant American.
Come on, you got him. And back. Back.
Bill Kazimaier, encouragement from the back.
Oh no.
No lift.
Not there that time, but it's still a massive improvement. He lifted only 16 last year. Now for his second attempt.
You want it. Come on. Stay with it. Keep coming. Keep coming. Come on. Quick. Quick. They're there. Come on up.
And somehow he manages to keep them all together. Just 2 short of the world record.
It's like playing a massive accordion.
And now a chance for Ted Vandenparre to equal Odie Wilson.
So Ted is huge.
And just in case you think it's all technique, remember those 24 bricks weigh 72 kilos. That's something over 160 pounds. More than most people would care to lift if the bricks were all in a sack, let alone with your arms stretched out as far as they can go. Vandenparre's arm span helping him, but he's sinking lower and lower.
It's going down, Steve. Go up. Oh, that's not going to work. No.
And eventually he has to let them drop.
No lift.
But second place for the Belgian. Odie, you were saying that was going to be one of your worst ones.
Well, you know, you can't tell you everything. That's why they call me the Nightmare, because you never know. You never know.
So an unexpected second victory for the USA. Europe a second place this time. Great Britain very disappointed with their third, and Iceland fourth. For our last event today, we've moved to the staves erected at the end of the last century to move the coal to the big ships on the River Tyne. This time, it's a truck pull. Each truck weighs 7.5 tons, and once again, the 2 men back in tandem.
Right, back in tandem.
Healthy, angle okay here?
First pull, lorry pull, Iceland versus Great Britain. Are you ready?
You've been to the States.
No. GB.
You have to pull a lorry.
Are you ready?
This a totally different sort of haul to the tram event. The teams must keep their feet on the blocks, and it's all arms and back. They're not allowed to walk away from those blocks at all. The strain now really telling. When the coal trucks used to come up these staiths, there's a slight incline so that once they'd been hauled up to the top and the loads dumped into the ships, they would then roll back down the staiths of their own accord. It's only 1 or 2 degrees, but as you can see, it means everything to these strength athletes. Helti Arneson and Magnus Magnusson working well as a team. Hauling back together, going forward together for another haul. And there's no question, as there was in the trample, of once the vehicle is rolling, then it will continue to roll. At the end of every pull, these stop. And that makes it terribly difficult to get moving again as the muscles get tired up.
Oh dear.
And the British boys change technique, standing up to try and use their body weight to get the lorry moving again. And they gain a precious extra few inches, but the whistle goes. The 2-minute time limit is up and neither team has completed the course.
Looks tough, isn't it? Probably turned out the lorry was driving in reverse full speed or something.
Toughest pull we ever had in our whole life. We didn't complete it, but I think the hours also ran into a problem with it. So I think we are quite happy with it. We gave it all we had, we just finished, we couldn't finish it.
There's obviously more of a gradient than there looks on this stage. Every time you try to relax, it goes back?
Yeah.
Determination writ large on the faces of the Icelanders, and one thing we know, they'll never give this title up without giving everything.
Second pull, USA and Europe. Are you ready? Yes. Timekeeper, are you ready?
And now it's the turn of the big men. This should help them.
It's the turn of the big men. Yeah, it should help them to be massive.
Once again, no problems in the early stages. But the Europeans not really working very well in unison. And not managing to keep the tension on those ropes. Having to realign themselves there. That sideways pull, also wasted effort. The Americans going steadily, but suddenly they hit the brick wall, just as the Icelanders did. And the Europeans have come to a full stop too. Bill Kazimir on his feet. And now he's moved away from the block. Jeff Capes puts him back. That's illegal.
That's illegal.
And there can only be centimetres in it. The time limit just about to come up. And the Americans might just have out-hauled the Icelanders. But could they be penalised for moving away from the block?
Yeah, but maybe.
There's not even enough strength left to take off the belt.
Well, something like that, you give it all you got. 2 minutes, oh, it's hard pulling. Time just seems to tick away.
The Americans out-pulling the Icelanders, but had to take second because it was ruled the last metre was gained illegally.
It was an illegal
and there,
metre.
the overall placings at the end of the first day. So the Americans at the moment very much the team to beat, looking very powerful and ominously hungry. But only 4 events gone, there's another 12 still to come. Join us for Programme 2 next week.
You ever been ominously hungry? Yeah, still hungry. We will just watch all the episodes straight through. But we'll, you know, keep the theme tune in because it's good. A tugboat sighting. He was sporty, yeah, he was. Wasn't expecting to see tugboat. Wasn't expecting to see tugboat. There it is. Eurosport did used to have some wrestling in the early 90s. Very early 90s. He's got a win over Mick Foley.
Hello once again from the Gateshead Garden Festival for round 2 of the World Strength
Garden Festival, the GGF.
Let me remind you that this is a competition of 16 events designed to test just about every muscle in the body. And our competitors are competing for the Trebor Super Strength Trophy. Before we go any further, let's meet the competitors again. There are 4 teams, 2 men in each team. Representing Great Britain, Adrian Smith, 26 years old, and the world bricklift record holder. His partner, Brian Bell from Dundee, the youngest competitor at 22, European powerlifting champion. From Iceland, Helgi Arnason, 25 and Iceland's strongest man. With him, Magnus Magnusson, aged 27, and the Icelandic powerlifting champion. For Europe, Charlie van der Bosch from Holland, winner of the Dutch strongest man. And Ted van den Parra, Dutch powerlifting champion. And last, the mighty Americans, Bill Kazmaier, 3 times world's strongest man. And Odie Wilson, known as the Nightmare, the world's strongest man, runner-up 1990.
Any side of the pole.
First today, the pole heave, a team event which takes something from sumo wrestling, but the protagonists are separated by a battering ram. The aim is simple, to get the other team out of the pit or on the floor. This one should favour the heavier teams, but the lighter men are hoping they can use their opponent's extra power to their own advantage.
What happened then?
Each contest is decided over 3 rounds, and the British are already 1 love down.
Oh dear.
Whatever the British team tried to do, it was to no avail. The power of the Americans left them with no place to go. For the British, 150 pounds deficit, too much to overcome, but the Icelanders still thought they had a chance against the Europeans.
So we will use a different technique. The Americans and the Dutch boys, they were trying to use their body weight and kind of horse or straight, I believe. But we will try to use some tricks, lot of speed, and move around in the area and try to push them on the air with some tricks.
That's good.
The weight difference between the Icelanders and the European team is just 50 pounds, but that proved decisive in round 1, says the Icelanders need this one to stay alive.
Ready?
Oh, he spun round. That was,
Charlie van der Bosch proving that neat footwork can turn the tables.
Oh, no, no.
The European team taking a lesson from the Icelanders. It looked as if they got the heave on there, but now the Europeans under pressure.
Oh, there we go. That was good.
And Arnason and Magnusson level it up at 1-1.
Ready, Iceland? Europe. Ready?
Oh, they're down. Europe
and the
wins.
Europeans getting the press on right from the start. No chance for the Icelanders that time.
Pick up the pole.
So in the final, the Americans versus the Europeans. The big teams winning out in the heats in the end. And the Americans placing one man on either side of the pole, just trying to make sure that they can keep control of it.
Oh dear.
And it works beautifully.
Yep.
Charlie van der Bosch and Ted van der Parra try to spin it, but there's nowhere to go.
You ready?
Yeah.
So the second heave. Charlie spinning around yet again. He gets OD out of the ring, but he's on the floor. 2-0 to the Americans. OD got all the power to bear in that one.
Yeah. See, Charlie's a technician. He knows the tricks and the trades, so my strategy was to key off him and Bill was just a pot of power.
Oh, Charlie got whacked with the pole, didn't he?
And in the playoff for 3rd and 4th place, the British team are already leading 1-0.
Oh, they go on the Brits. Oh, they got him.
And they get the drive just right a second time to take 3rd place.
Come in.
And the points the same for every event. 10-8, 6-4. Today's first individual event is something everybody who's done any strength training will be familiar with, albeit with far lighter weights.
Dumbbell press, 200 pounds, 100 pound in each hand. First to go on deck, Great Britain.
Adrian Smith, having injured his left bicep on day 1, needs the weights lifted into position. The time limit is 1 minute, and he is permitted to stop and restart.
4, 5, 6, 7.
It's called Bullseye
8,
and featured Jim
9,
Bowen, and it was directed
10,
by Michael Winner.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Rest.
He calls for a rest to try and get oxygen into those muscles, and he must lock out on every lift for it to count. If he doesn't do that, the referee, Jeff Capes, will just repeat the count at the same number.
17, 18, 19, 20. Rest. 5 seconds. Stop.
And before he's got a chance to add to the 20 total, the hooter goes and the 1 minute is up.
Was that good? I don't know.
Next to go, Helti Arnason from Iceland.
John Cleese played Man on the Beach in Barbados who looks like John Cleese.
A little more of the psyching up Icelandic style.
Get ready. Whistle start. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, he's going back to the British lads, isn't he?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 19.
Arnason, a power lifter, leaning back to make the lift very much like the bench press in that sport.
21, 22.
Oh, well done.
23, 24, 25.
Locks out at 25 to take the lead. Helti Arnason feeling the benefit of those 4 hours a day training which he does all through the winter. Ted van der Parra for Europe, on those long arms which were such an advantage in the brick lift on day 1 and now a liability. He has to move those dumbbells much further than any of the other competitors.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Oh dear.
Charlie van den Bosch tells him to take a rest.
You're not the referee. 30 seconds.
You're not the referee.
Still 30 seconds to go.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Another rest, and he still needs 2 to go ahead of Adrian Smith.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Bill needs pipes.
And he hasn't looked
BNP in the chat if you think Bill needs pipes.
There's nothing left. 18 the total for Ted Vandenpara. And if those weights look comparatively small, just remember he's just lifted the equivalent of a 14.5 stone man 18 times above his head.
On the whistle start.
Here he is.
Tell me when you're ready.
Bill Kazmaier now for the United States with the advantage of knowing exactly what he has to do.
Oh, but not the advantage of the pipes.
1, 2.
Oh, look at this.
3, 4, 5.
Jeff Capes penalising Casimir, a bit worried that he's not locking out.
Yeah, he's deliberately going
but
fast,
injury
isn't he? Thinking he can
prevents that
sneak
left
some
arm
through.
blocking totally.
15,
And now the referee's satisfied. Casimir going for speed.
19, 20, 21,
Yeah,
21.
They've done it a couple of times, haven't they, over
23,
their interests? That's
24,
bad.
25, 26, 27, 27, 28, 29, 30.
And Casimir punches his way into the lead.
Put the weights back on. 30. How long? 15 seconds left.
Well, he's already won the competition, but he's coming back just to rub it in.
31, 32, 33, 34, 35.
Makes 35 just as the hooter goes. The mighty American, 3 times the world's strongest man, taking it for the USA.
He didn't need the pipes.
So on day 2, the Americans so far carrying all before them, and that gives them a commanding lead, 10 points in the overall placing. After the break, we have the hoist lift, and that's followed by a relay race with a difference. We'll be back in a couple of moments.
That is a difference, isn't it? That is a difference.
Welcome back. Well, our third event in today's program, another individual event for the other half of the teams. And no matter how hard I pull on this rope, I haven't a chance of moving it. In fact, I'd need all of Jeff Capes' help with me. Jeff, explain what's stopping us.
Well, what's happening, you've got 300 pounds in the wheelbarrow. That's rule 1. And you have to pull it on a pulley system where there's a pulley wheel at the top.
So what's that in the weight
down
of
to
a man?
pulley wheel at the bottom, and then to you as the puller. And the object is you pull hand over hand, and eventually, or hopefully, the weight in the wheelbarrow will rise, and the white mark on the rope will come down and pass this white mark on the bottom, and the event will cease. It's a timed event.
So there are 3 lifts, and the weight in the barrow increases each time. We start with the weight at 320 pounds.
First to go, first round, Europe, Charlie van den Bosch. Tell me when you're ready. Timekeeper. Are you ready?
And the giant Dutchman having problems in getting that wheelbarrow moving, but now he's off and away.
There we go.
Van den Bosch not pleased with himself. Brian Bell now for Great Britain.
Oh, Brian, you fucked it.
And the Scotsman from Dundee's in trouble. Originally, he was not going to do this event. Had to take it on because of Adrian Smith's injury.
No, hand over hand. Get back, Ryan. Get back, get back. That's it. That's it. From there. Now, step back, hand
The
over hand.
referee quite prepared to help all the competitors.
Come on. Hand over hand, quick.
And that's what Brian Bell thinks of that. Odie Wilson next.
Shit.
No problem for the big American.
Like a chump,
Round 2, the weight in the barrow has gone up to 370 pounds.
Okay.
Charlie Vanden Bosch again.
What's 370 pounds in the weight of a man?
Leg. Head. Head.
Head. No.
How much time, please?
Charlie Vanden Bosch still has plenty of time, another minute. But he decides it's all too much. A kick in the back to jolt Magnus Magnusson into action.
Everything you got.
Go on, Magnus.
Tell me when you're ready. Huh? Ready!
The Icelandic powerlifting champion bringing all his leg power
They should have
to
loaded
bear
the
in this
wheelbarrow
one.
with mints, shouldn't they? As the sponsor.
A good lift from him.
Well done, Magnus.
Good. Thank you. Ready. Ready.
So effectively, just Magnusson and Odie Wilson left in it. And again, a good lift from the American.
Good lift.
And final pull on deck at 440 pounds. Magnus, Iceland.
Helti Arnason with the magic fingers. Magnus Magnusson shakes him off. He knows he must lift this to stand a chance. Odie Wilson is already ahead, well ahead on time.
Come on. Come on, good. Ready? Ready?
Go on, Magnus.
The weight now, a massive 440 pounds.
That's so many pounds. That's the equivalent of two 220-pound men being on the wheelbarrow. If anyone's confused. Oh!
And Magnusson gives it all he's got, but he's forced to give in. Plenty of time, but he knows he's not going to make it.
1 minute.
And that left Odie Wilson, the winner, on time. He couldn't be beaten, so the canny American decided not to take his third lift. Charlie and Brian,
canny.
Not your favourite event, huh?
To tell you the truth, it's usually my favourite event. But in the first weight, I was leaning too much forwards. When I pulled, it wouldn't go, so I had to come backwards. And I had a second time anyway in that heat, but the last one, it was impossible for me to bring it home.
And in that first heat, you actually ripped your hands a bit. That obviously made it worse.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, just some skin. But we used to think like that, you know, when you do the Highland Games, your hands are full of tacky to do the throwing, and you lose.
Well, very difficult to actually grasp a rope and go for it again when you've got a sore hand as well.
Well, you don't feel the pain. When you're competing, there is so much adrenaline in your system, you don't feel any pain.
And Brian, particularly bad luck for you that you had to do the event at all.
Yeah, Adrian's quite good at this event. He's been practicing it a lot, and that's the first time I've tried it, as you can see by my performance there. So
why hasn't Brian practiced?
So maximum points yet again for the Americans. They were beaten by the Icelanders last year,
Do you
and
think he
they've
was
come
a
back this year
last-minute
very
replacement?
determined indeed. Finally today, we're back up on the staves, built last century to move coal so that it could be loaded directly into the big seagoing freighters. Remember, there's an incline which allowed the coal trucks to roll back to the loading point with nothing but gravity propelling them. This is a relay in which 2 cars must be hauled on ropes 30 meters up the slope. One team member dons a harness ready to tow the second car, but at the other end of the course, ready for a static
yeah, on that one he wouldn't have done that event,
strength,
right? Yeah, that makes sense.
Who starts?
So they must have swapped. He would have done the lift thing, the tugboat lift. Okay, so this is a 2-car relay.
Charlie Vandenbosch getting a good long haul on the rope, getting a narrow lead over Odie Wilson.
Get a good long pull. Oh, well done.
Just that vital half-second difference, and Ted Vandenpara getting away from Bill Kazemaier. And the 7-foot Belgian reaches out and just makes the line ahead of the American.
Well done. Well done, Europe.
Ted Vandenpara very quickly up and into the running position. And that's quite a feat, because the Skoda car is filled with 5 adults, plus 400 pounds of luggage.
There you go. There's a luggage venture.
Charlie, drawn with the Americans, getting in front of them. That must have been satisfying.
Yes, well, we have 2 more days to go, so we needed this victory. Really, we did, so we know we can beat them.
You got off to a very good pull there.
Yeah, well, last year we won this event, you see, and pulling vehicles like that is one of my specialties, so gave my partner a nice lead, and he finished it off bravely.
And Ted, once you got the car moving, you were really getting up quite some speed.
Yes, when you have long legs, then you can make a lot of speed.
Keep your eye on me.
In Heat 2, it's Iceland up against Great Britain.
Hotels.
All 4 men are lighter than the first 2 teams. But this is an event which requires explosive power, and they both fancy their chances.
I think this Hasia is...
Okay, other teams ready? Iceland?
Oh, okay.
Great Britain? Are you ready?
It's Brian Bell for Great Britain and Magnus Magnusson for Iceland.
12X, please, roar.
Magnus Magnusson establishing an impressive rhythm. And Brian Bell going
Jeff
well
doing
too.
a sort of Christ the Redeemer pose as the cars come past?
Less than a second in it. Both men running, and less than 13 seconds the time for the 30-meter course.
This is a good event.
Adrian Smith desperately trying to catch Helti Arneson, but just beaten by the Icelander.
Our strong points are like this. We are very strong, both of us, very quick. We are quite equal. And the plan, Magnus has been is a little lighter on me, so he's used to do the running. But because he twisted something in his ankle, we have to change.
You switch round?
Yeah, and we can afford to switch around, because we are quite good in everything.
Yeah, Magnus, you seem to be pulling hand over hand there like a madman.
I am a madman.
So an important win for Iceland, taking
Iceland
6 points over the USA, who came last.
USA last.
The Americans, though, in the lead, but the gap now between them and Iceland down to 6 points. So a day which began brilliantly for the mighty Americans, going slightly wrong at the end, and the Icelanders coming right back at them. You can see how with different events, it all changes round completely, and we're only halfway through the competition. So make sure you join us next week.
Let's just carry on through.
The first event, once again a team event, and this could be one of the most awkward in the whole competition. A log chop, and as any lumberjack will tell you, that's as much about technique as it is about strength, and very few of our competitors have any experience of that.
Okay, the logs were good last time.
Holland, Netherlands, ready!
Each of the logs have been carefully selected to be equal in weight and girth. They weigh a staggering 450 pounds, so the first thing to achieve is to get them onto the trestles.
Get it on the trestle, lads.
And the extra height and weight of the European pair gives them an advantage here. But I don't think any of the teams has any doubt that this event's going to be won on the axemanship.
So it comes down to the axemanship.
A good rhythm immediately from the Europeans.
Use the weight.
A nice wide cut. Very important for a log.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah, it's incredibly dangerous because they've got two axes where they're hitting at each other, and then they do this bad thing where they're going to try and jump on it in a minute.
Well, I don't think Adrian Smith and Brian Bell will win any prizes for their axemanship.
Yeah, we never won a prize for axemanship.
Well into the log.
Turn it over now. Turn the log over.
The referee, Jeff Capes, as always, ready with advice and help for all 4 teams.
Come on, lads!
Come on, lads!
Come on! Down the middle, yeah!
Yeah!
Now, Ted! Ted, now!
No, Ted!
7-foot Ted Vandenparre. Trying to use all that weight. He's the second heaviest man in the competition.
Yeah,
the log won't go. Charlie Vandenbosch goes for a really unorthodox cut, and he's persuaded his partner to join him. The British pair still struggling. Trying to get difficult axes online, but the first log goes. Now each half must be hauled to the end of the course and deposited in the bin.
Watching some big lads.
That's still well over 200 pounds.
Get that log in the box.
Remember, it's against the clock, so keep cheering the British team.
Finish for the Europeans in 6 minutes 55 seconds.
Look at all that.
And the British pair really struggling now. It's a long, tough event.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
And they've gone through the 10-minute barrier now. Brian
they
Bell,
really are, Royals, yeah.
Trying to just use animal strength, anything to break that log. And at last, Adrian Smith gets it to start tracking. And just as important, gets his feet out of the way too.
A bit where he was just bumping
really
into
tough,
it.
Event. The actual axemanship proving very difficult to get through that with.
Oh, very difficult. It's much harder than it looks. And it's so tiring. Keep swinging the axe. And, you know, we're glad this event's over. I think it's probably the hardest in the competition.
Just show us those hands again. I mean, a real mess.
Oh dear, there you are, Josie.
Ready? Are you ready?
Yeah. The second two teams to go, Iceland and the United States. And immediately, the Icelandic pair stealing an advantage, not using the slings, picking their log up.
No, surely
OD
could just lean on it straight away, right? And it would smash.
A little snag for Helpy for a moment, couldn't find his axe. And immediately the Icelanders establishing a good rhythm.
Because it's hard to get it going.
Helty Anderson at pains to point out before the event that there are no trees in Iceland.
There are no trees in Iceland,
problems practicing. The Americans now into full flow. The giant Odie Wilson weighing in at 26 stones.
Come on, US. Come on.
US.
Good steady rhythm still from the Icelanders. Unorthodox technique from Helti and from Magnus Magnusson. Bill Kazimaier, the man who has more experience at these events than anyone else. Odie Wilson gritting his teeth and going to it. This is where it's getting tough.
That's it.
Get behind them.
He's the equivalent of a 26-stone man, yeah.
Come on, it's going.
Come on. Oh, double, yes.
One attempt only and then back
Move it across into the
to the
middle.
axis. And just a couple more cuts. And the log goes.
You don't,
incredible time from the Icelanders. Helgi gets his arm into the bin, goes back to help Magnus.
There we go.
2 minutes 53. For winners without any question.
Yeah. Come on, Odie.
The Americans still struggling.
Come on.
Oh, no.
26 stones of Odie Wilson. And over 20 stones of Bill Kazimaier. And that's the sound they've been waiting for. They're so exhausted.
Come on, Odie. Come on. Come on, Odie.
Oh, yeah, they've got to get up and move the log.
Odie trapped by the log, I
Got
think.
it now. Together. Together, man. Come on.
Well, he's freed himself, but they are so exhausted. They really can only just get the energy to finish.
There are, yeah. I think there's a whole genre
to finish in front
of something that's relatively modern that I think Brad Center would like.
That log just wouldn't go for you, would it?
No.
I think there's something called timber sports.
What was toughest in the actual the chopping? Was it your breath that went most, or your shoulders?
There's like a big event.
You know, I respect guys that in the timber. You don't think this is work.
Maybe we'll watch some of the future Big Lad
It
stream.
was just actually cutting the log. It's just hard work. Period.
You wouldn't fancy doing it for a living?
Well, if I had to, I would. But Lord, let me do something else other than that. Woo! I tell you, it's rough.
So another win for Iceland, and last year's winners beginning to put the pressure on the USA.
Iceland.
Right, Charlie Van Bosch, Europe, opening weight 90 kilos. Are you ready?
Charlie Van Bosch, first to go in the log lift. It's in fact a metal log with handles inside, a refinement on the old strongman act. But it means they can vary the weights, and
Very
Charlie Van
tuneful log when
successful
they
at
drop
90
it as
kilos.
well.
Bill Kazimaier coming in at 150. Just rests it on the knees, relaxes himself, and then presses out. Another athlete with a powerlifting background, Helti Anderson, going for 150 kilos as well.
I have to watch it.
Same sort of technique.
Log bits.
And again, presses
I
out.
do remember Jazza, yeah.
Charlie
They're
Van
teaming
Bosch not
up
coming
again.
back in. He really isn't a powerlifter, and he's leaving it to the men with real experience in this sport. Brian Bell now.
Go on, Brian.
From
He's
Great
going to have
Britain.
not practiced this.
Another powerlifting champion, much lighter than the other men though, but
You
lifts
spent
that
all day
145
watching
kilos
people
cleanly.
get married.
Helti Anderson really upping the
sounds
stakes
nice.
now, going for a massive 160.
Oh.
He's allowed another go. He can't
Oh,
do it
no.
though, paying the penalty for trying to put the pressure on his fellow competitors.
BBC had live coverage.
Brian Bell going for
What was this
155.
penalty getting there? Hey, look, who am I to judge? What are you doing in your own time? Oh, he's put it on his head.
Unorthodox.
Where's he
but
off
there's
to?
nothing in the
Where's he
laws
going?
against it, but he can't control it. And referee Jeff Capes rules a no lift. While Bill Kazimier's done his sums, he too is going for 155, knowing that that will win him the competition. the most experienced
These guys
man
couldn't even deadlift shots.
in this field. Now 38 years old, he's been competing for 20 years. And it really does count in this event. Rolls it up, straightens out.
Easy.
Another win for Kevmar.
The other guys, you know, they haven't had the experience. Both Odie and I are world class. We actually share the same record in powerlifting. I set mine 10 years ago. He set his last year. And the other guys are just nowhere near us for heavyweight lifting. So when the events for carrying and running with things come up, that's when the other guys maybe have an advantage because they do a lot of running.
But a win for the USA. 10 points to them, restoring their lead over
150
Iceland.
stones, no.
They're the 6-gap advantage that they hold. Europe third with 60 points. Great Britain tailed off at 54.
Yeah.
The other individual event, a wheelbarrow race with a difference. And then the two men team up again for the car charge. Join us for those after the break.
Yeah, it's a bad British team, I think.
Welcome back. Well, while one team member recovers from the weightlifting, the other one's got to do his bit.
The British guy that won World's Strongest Man is injured.
All about speed. Very simple. The competitors pick up
It's because they couldn't get two Dutch guys, It's one Dutch guy and one Belgian guy.
The main problem, this stone weighs over 300 pounds. It's got to go on the trolley. They then continue up the course, pick up a 50-kilo sack, round the cone at the top, pick up another 50-kilo sack, and then back over the line. The teams go one by one against the clock.
Are you ready?
And drawn first this time, it's Iceland, Magnus Magnusson. And the Icelanders
and the guy that
chance
does
in
have,
the
one of them
event.
looks a bit like Bobby Davro.
On goes the stone with no problems at all.
Yeah, they could have done Jezzo, yeah. It's 100% stone, yeah.
And now he's finding it much more difficult.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of a 100-kilogram and a 36-kilogram man.
On goes the second sack, and it's just the charge for home. But he's made life a little bit difficult for himself by having a lot of that weight forward. His time, 36.4. On goes the second sack, and I fancy it would have been easier had he put that on the back.
Right. It's easy to... it feels easier to criticise when you're not doing
Odie
it,
Wilson for the USA. No problems at all with the stone. No, as I thought.
Feels heavy. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? We've heard it quite a few times, Jezzo, but even then, oh shit.
Oh, and now he's really given himself a problem. All the weight down the front end of the trolley, and that makes pushing awfully difficult.
In the back, in the back. Yeah, quick.
The second sack doesn't even balance it up. And the extra weight means he's really got to drive with those massive...
Amazingly, the theme tune guy only
well
releases
behind the Icelanders.
solo album in
40 seconds
2018.
exactly.
It's amazing. Yeah, he did fuck that, didn't he? I don't think he meant to. It sort of, it just
really
hit the wrong side of the stone, didn't it, when he threw it? And it went
I think he went to put it on top of the stone, but that was already too far forward. And now all the weight down the front.
Ready?
Adrian Smith, the Great Britain.
Come on, Adrian.
Now he has a problem. That bicep injury, you'll remember, on the brick lift, and that means he cannot really bend the elbows. And that stone is right up the front of the trolley, and that's going to cause him more problems.
Back on the back.
Bag on the back, Adrian. Bag on the back.
Again, gingerly lifts the bag.
Go, go, go! Come on, Eddie!
He should have done Big Papa.
Go, 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 go!
Has trouble getting it moving again.
Speed, 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 speed.
And he's behind the Americans. And immediately looks ruefully at that left bicep. And you can see Adrian Smith struggling as soon as he has to lift that 300-pound stone. He's got plenty of power to do it, but bending the elbows from here is impossible because of that injury, and he has to swing it up, and it's totally in the wrong position.
Ready?
Ted van den Vara.
So there's this giant Belgian guy.
His height should be an advantage there. On goes the stone. Nice and central as well. Charlie van der Bosch cheering him on. Ted using a tactic of trying to keep all the weight absolutely in the middle of the trolley by the looks of it.
I think that's going to go here.
The last one on the back. Now, has it worked for him? 36.4 to beat. 35.5, a win for the Europeans.
God. They all look hard, don't they, Royce?
A little wink at the crowd because Ted knew he did that one exactly right. By this time, he's really set out his stall. He's got the stone back and central. He's got the weight distribution just right.
Yeah, I don't know which one would be for me.
Ted, tremendous win. The height really came into its own there, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe the car one, yeah.
The height of the wheelbarrow was right for me to put the stone on the top of it.
And I noticed you were very careful to place the stone right in the middle of the trolley.
Yeah, when you put it just a bit forward, then the wheelbarrow goes dipping. So I put them just after the wheels. That's the right position.
And a good turn of speed for such a big man.
Yeah, normally I'm good in such events. I'm very fast in such events.
So a welcome 10 points for the Europeans, and importantly Iceland ahead of the USA.
I think I've got a truck pulling me.
And there, the leaderboard, the gap back to 4 points, and another speed event to come. The Icelanders said they do well in those, and it certainly seems to be working out that way. For our last event today, we're back up on the stage. It's the car charge, and the two team members once again working together. One pushing, one pulling. The course 30 meters long, and a couple of sleeping policemen in between just to make life difficult.
Other teams ready. First pull in the car charge, Iceland versus Europe.
A sleeping policeman included in ACAB.
Neck and neck at the first obstacle. Charlie, a real specialist. The cars have to go over the line, and then it's back for the second one.
That really does feel dangerous when they've got to run back into the car. Yeah, exactly, Roz. Normally someone's in there and they just put the brake on. On this one, they have to run back past the car, don't they?
And Helge Arnesen still well forward, taking a decisive lead. Charlie van den Bosch, a real specialist at car towing. He holds the world record for the number of cars towed by one man. On the back of the British car, Adrian Smith. And inside that Skoda car, you can see 5 people. There's also 400 pounds of baggage. A total of 1,000 pounds in each car.
Yeah, it's a different guy.
So although this appears a sprint, especially by the end of the run, it's an enormous weight they have to lift. Brian Bell on the front rope for Great Britain, Casimir on the front for the USA.
Okay,
Shout me, are you ready, GB? Are you ready?
What's that giant ball of yarn in the background?
On the back of the American car.
Oh, come on the brakes.
Brian Bell really getting a charge on there. Back goes Adrian Smith. The British boys almost tripping over each other in their anxiety to get back. Adrian Smith this time takes the front row.
Yeah, I think it is Psycho Spray, yeah.
44.5, the time to beat. And the British team really coming into their own.
Yeah, this is their thing, right?
And over the line. A win for Britain. Brian Bell punches the air in triumph, and Bill Casimir knows on that one he's well beaten. Brian Bell really letting loose, getting all his power onto that rope and charging for the line. Brian, Adrian, took a long time coming, but must have been worth it in the end.
Oh, I knew we were the lightest, but I knew we were the fittest. And I knew myself we can take this one, and we did.
Yeah, really pleased.
You
know, unfortunately, Brian and I, we were a good team, but my bicep injury made us have to swap everything around. And Brian did everything that I was good at, and I had to do everything that he was good at. So I would have liked for us to have shown better. But no, we've got no grumbles. We both enjoyed ourselves, haven't we? Great fun.
Adrian Smith, really despondent about that injury. He knows that despite that win, Great Britain's chances are completely gone. As we can see from the overall table, they are at the bottom with 68 points. But look at the top, the USA and Iceland, with just one day to go.
Yeah, this is 1990s pure strength.
And looking at the events on that final day, they're all against the clock, but a couple of them more strength and a couple of them more speed. The car roll, the strength stones, the now familiar barrel run, and finally the truck harness pull. So anything could happen.
Phil Kashmar and Odie, they lost for us last year. This year they're coming back with unbelievable power. We were quite confident in the beginning, and we still think we can win. So we just hope the best. We won't let anyone down.
So it could still all change. There are 4 events still to go, and a couple of them will certainly suit the more dynamic Icelanders. Don't miss the finale next week.
Don't miss the finale. I think we want to watch the finale, don't we? We want to watch the finale. Yeah, that bit looked bad, didn't it? But so far it's been alright. I don't think this has been upscaled. Okay, shall we take a quick break, and then we'll watch the finale? It absolutely would. I have other interests, as most things do. It is a great theme, Adamantium. Yeah, don't worry. We'll get to hear it in full. Okay, I'll be back in a minute, and then we'll watch the finale. Watch the finale. Keep hashtags coming in if you want. I think we are going to be up a little bit late, but it'll be worth it because we want to hear Ian Donaldson's greatest hits, and we want to see who wins Pure Strength 1990. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Cowabunga. Don't think Cowabunga's going to take off.
Pure strength, give me pure strength, invincible, unbeatable, unstoppable, unbelievable, one heart, one soul, pure strength, give me pure strength.
Right, there we go. Yeah, one heart, one soul, pure strength, give me pure strength. I will make a super cut of both the intros. I think, possibly with some clips of Bill Kazmaier trying to kill his partner with a barrel, and then them jumping on some logs. Okay, let's get over to the big lads. Let's get over to the big lads. Yeah, it didn't really work, did it, Jazzo? Didn't the illusion wasn't really fooling anyone. Okay, that's a bad edit. Oh, we're in Gateshead as well.
Hello once again from the Gateshead Garden Festival and our last visit to the World Strength Athlete Championship. Now, we've got some of the biggest, strongest men in the world in this competition, but when you see them all together, you sometimes lose perspective. To try and give you one, I'm just under 6 feet tall, I weigh 190 pounds. That's much bigger than average, but I feel absolutely dwarfed next to these fellas. Guys, introduce yourselves and tell them what height you are.
I'm Ted van der Parre. My height is 7 feet, my weight is 340 pounds. I'm O.D. Wilson. My height is 6'6", and my weight is 404 pounds.
Well, they're the biggest, but now let's go and meet their teammates and their opponents.
Yeah, thank you.
The Great Britain team, Adrian Smith, 26 years old, world bricklip record holder. Brian Bell with him, the youngest man in the competition, European junior powerlifting champion. Iceland, who won the competition last year, and Helti Arnason, 25 years old, with Magnus Magnusson.
Grandfather was 6'6".
27 and the Icelandic powerlifting champion. The giant Charlie van der Bosch from the Netherlands for Europe, 6'4", but even he's dwarfed by Ted van den Parre at 7 feet. Bill Kazmaier, the oldest man in the competition, but also the most experienced, and with him, the nightmare, O.D. Wilson. Well, once again, we begin with a team event, both team members being required to work in harmony. With me, Jeff Capes, the man who's been setting the courses and refereeing the events. Jeff, this one a bit of a first. Explain it for us.
Slightly. In the past, obviously, some of the strongman events where there's individuals concerned, they have just to roll the car over once and run past the line. This is the first where they've got to roll the car, probably up to 5 times, end over end, until they cross the line at the finish.
They've got to roll the cars over?
And with 2 of them, really some technique, they've got to evolve a scheme that's going to work.
That's what I was
well, again, in the past, it's always been in individuals, but this event is all about teamwork. They've got to watch each other, pull together, roll over, again, pull together. And if there's any individual work, i.e. one pulling harder than the other, the car can spin and go out of direction. So they've got to control the car as well as pull together over the course.
Well, because it's new and therefore unknown, all the teams have been talking tactics.
Quick feet, good moves, find the handle. Doesn't matter where you grab it. If you want to grab low, take whatever you want. But I'm going to be real fast, and I'm going to take the little ones, keep it moving. If you get that big pull, you take it and use it. We'll spin that thing like this. All right. Just got to remember, the tire will spin. It's not stable, so don't ever grab it by the tire.
I think we've decided to pick the car up by the wheels, by the tyres. And then if it spins off-centre, we'll wait till it lands on the roof, we'll square up and then turn it again. So I think we've got quite a good strategy for this.
Adrian so far has never had a good strategy for anything.
Europe,
yeah, their car's got stuck. There we go.
And the Europeans, despite their size, soon finding that you've got to lift that car, not push it. The Brits in similar trouble. They've also got the problem of going off course.
Turn it.
You must get it back on course.
Yeah, you've not heard of Long Through Sally?
Brian Bell on the near side, using everything he's got. But the big Europeans first over the line. And their time, 48.8.
Yes.
Well, the wheel technique didn't really work for the British team, did it? But they're there at last.
Yes.
And their time, 61.7.
I told you it'll go off course.
Charlie and Ted, that one really seemed to go pretty well. Ted, you've got a lot of power in there early on, got the car moving well straight away.
Yeah, you want to be as quick as possible. You know, to car, you turn it over and over and over again. But it's on halfway the deck, the top of the car splashed. So give a bit of difficulty, but it went for the rest all right.
Once the roof started to collapse, it was more difficult, was it?
Yes, in the start you could see we rolled it and rolled it. So I was pretty sure we would have been here in 20 seconds, but then the roof went. So that was suddenly completely different. But we managed. Happy with the time.
Ready!
Well, this is the crunch heat. The Icelanders and the Americans tied first overall with 96 points. So today, the winners of the day will be the winners of the competition.
Direct.
Both teams having problems, but the Americans have got their car moving now. Tremendous power they have, that body weight. They are able to push the car end over end. The Icelanders in all sorts of trouble. They just can't keep their car straight.
There's a good
And again, and again!
the Americans
are there. They've won this one, 36.5 seconds. Now, can the Icelanders take second? They've got to beat 48.8. And they're stuck a little bit at the moment. OD sportingly moves the American car out of the way, but it's the Icelanders' fault because they went offline. OD, another tough event.
Yeah. I got to see my insurance adjuster about this car. I don't know what he's going to say, man. It's a mess.
Everybody seemed to find it easier, in fact, until the roof started collapsing.
Well, that's it. You know, if it stays high on top as you're rolling it over the top, you're all right, but as soon as that gets flat, then you got to push harder to get it to keep rolling. I think we did better than anybody else, keeping the thing moving over the top once it was back on its wheels for another pop.
I saw when we finished, our car was blocking health of them car, and I wasn't trying to be heroic in there, but I just wanted to get it out of the way so they could have a good time too. You know, so
that's nice.
We really like going against our Icelanders. They're tough.
Healthy, Magnus, you're leaning against the car as if you quite fond of it, but you looked as if you hated it as you came down the course.
We hated it. Well, this was supposed to be a good event, you know, fast power event, but something went wrong, so the car was always going in the wrong direction, and we lost too much time with putting it to going the right direction. But the competition is not over yet. We have many good events coming up.
Yeah,
and we will fight until the end,
good, isn't it?
like wild animals.
Iceland's time, 49.9, and that put them just behind Europe. And the USA, therefore, take a 4-point lead.
There, okay, yeah. Safety reason.
Once again, an individual event now. Those 3 strength stones you can see there with the rings in them weigh over 300 pounds each. The event's simple. They have to be taken to the top of that 5-step staircase. First to go, it's Adrian Smith of Great Britain.
Are you ready? Come on,
Adrian Smith has this damaged left bicep. It's a problem for him, but he's managed that first one really well.
Oh dear.
That's where he's hampered. Every time he has to bend that left arm, that's when the bicep muscle really comes into play.
In reverse spin, it's a full-grown man who falls in love with a little girl. Oh dear.
Brian Bell urging him on.
Go on, Adrian.
Oh, dig in, Ade. Come on, dig in.
Good.
Yes, Ade. Voice it, Frank. Come on, voice it now. That's it, Ade. Don't beat it. Come on. Fight it, Ade. Fight it.
Come on.
The former rugby player from Corby in Northamptonshire finishes in 54 seconds. Seemed to go very well for you, only just one little stumble below the bottom step.
Yeah, the second
look how much
song
this guy looks
slightly
like Bobby
bigger.
Dabro.
I've taken all the skin off from the insides of my legs, and I've taken some more skin off my knuckles. It's proven to be quite dodgy, even more dodgy than rugby.
Ted Vandenparre from Europe, second to go, and lifting very smoothly indeed. Using all that height, just straightens out those long legs, and he's up another step.
It's a dodgy competition, yeah. More dodgy
This is
than
the stone
rugby.
Adrian Smith found difficulty with. As always, Charlie, loud with the encouragement.
No, it doesn't it? Anyway, looks very wobbly. They're not solid steel steps, are they?
And he's there, 37.00. And Helti Arneson knows that a great deal depends on him here.
Ready?
The Icelanders level before the start of today's competition. Now 4 points behind the Americans.
Look how miserable. Look at the grey skies.
Yo.
A good first lift. Here's the troublesome one. Good time so far.
Oh, man. That's it.
And now he's struggling neck and neck with Ted Vandenparre. And that little catch there could have cost him it. The time, 37.6. Just 0.6 of a second behind Ted Vandenparre. Last to go, the giant O.D. Wilson. His legs strapped up to prevent the sort of abrasions that Adrian Smith received. 37 seconds to beat. Oh, and that's a tremendous lift. O.D. Wilson missing out one step completely on that first lift.
Strong, isn't he?
Bill Kazmaier, quick with the encouragement.
Come on, O.D.
And O.D. Wilson looks as if he's going to win this one for the Americans. Yes, he has, 33.9.
Okay.
And what a gamble he took on that first lift, but it came off.
You figure
It was pure strength.
a lot of these guys are extremely fast, especially the Icelanders and the guys from Germany are extremely fast. So
The guys from
I got a lot of
Germany.
power, so I figured if I could just take one of his steps away, that'll save me a few seconds, and just go for it on the last one.
So another first place for the USA, and Iceland having to settle for third. The gap now, 8 points between the USA and Iceland. Europe and Great Britain effectively out of it. Just 2 events to go. The Americans the favourites, but Iceland could still do it if they were to win the barrel run and the lorry harness race. Join us to see the finale after the break.
Oh, we'll get some ads. Oh, this is nice. Goals!
Welcome back. Well, we're on to our last individual event, and it's another explosive one, designed really to test who'd make the best drayman. There are 8 barrels here. They each weigh 50 kilos, and the competitors have to pick them up, run the 8 meters to the platform, which is 1 meter 10 centimeters high, and hurl the barrels onto the platform, then return and pick up another one. It's against the clock, and the fastest man wins.
First run.
We're not in Finland anymore,
USA, Bill Kazmaier.
we're in Gateshead
Are you
now.
ready?
And this, one of Bill Kazmaier's favourite events.
Come on, Bill. Come on, Bill.
Q, where the
Tremendous
delivery
upper
men
body
have.
strength, allowing him to hurl these early barrels.
They do
from
keep
4 or
changing
5
the
feet away
establishment,
from the
don't they?
platform.
Yeah.
Come on. Hit it. Hit it.
4 down already.
Come on, baby, come on, Bill, come on. There we go,
Traywood Holmes.
Now it's beginning to tell. A little more effort went into that one.
Suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. No, suck it up.
Oh, Big Popper's concluded that the plot to Big is fucked. It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Let's go, Bill.
Now he's beginning to blow as well to make it more difficult. Desperately wants to win this one.
Come on.
Beaten by Magnus Magnusson last year.
All right.
Tremendous time, 50.8. And look at the power of Bill Kazmaier.
Next to go.
I don't know about Matthew. I don't know that it's my place to legislate.
Are you ready?
The big Dutchman, ideally built for this event.
Go on, Charlie.
Again able to hurl the barrel, but not perhaps quite as smoothly as Bill Kazmaier.
Yeah, anyone want to suggest some fucked films for Big Popper to look up?
It's very good so far. Just 2 barrels left after this one. And I think he's just slower than Kazmaier at this point.
Go on, Charlie.
Yes, he's not going to beat him. Struggles with that last one. 53.6. Good, but not good enough.
Yeah, let us know what you think, Big Popper. What do you think about milk money?
I had a really nice run. No problems really, but yeah, the old men still beat me. Unfortunately, but there will be a time. There will be a day I beat them.
Ready?
Brian Bell from Great Britain, third to go. A much lighter man and a much younger man. So he's got the speed, but not the strength. And you can see what that means. He has to go right up to the platform. He really has to take probably 2 paces more than Bill Kazmaier and Charlie van der Bosch. So even though he might be faster across the ground, he's covering more, and he's slower than those 2 at this point. But this is where the crunch really comes. And just like the others, he's struggling with those last 2 barrels. He's already slower than Kazmaier, slower than Charlie van der Bosch too. A good run, but Brian Bell finishes in 58.4. Here's where it really started to hurt. Look how he's blowing.
Tom Hanks back to see
Next to go, Magnusson, Iceland. Are you ready?
And tremendous responsibility on the broad shoulders of Magnus Magnusson. He knows that he has to win this if Iceland are to stay in the Hunter Tour. Set off at a tremendous pace. He won this event last year.
He's fast, isn't he?
And Helti Arnesen has the stopwatch in his hand. He's keeping him absolutely up to the second on everything. A tremendous run.
Chet Hanks is Tom's worst decision.
Just the 2 to go.
Oh, slow down a bit.
Again, fatigue sets in. It's going to be very tight. Remember, 50.8 he's got to beat. And he's done it. 49.6.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's on the screen now, Jazza. Yeah.
Because Bill was fast. I beat Bill last year.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's helping, does it, Ross?
After the events now.
Yeah, this goes the opposite. Yeah, Magnus.
You were well ahead of the clock halfway through, but then the tiredness seems to really come in. Is that how it works?
Yes. Last maybe 3 barrels. They get heavier all the time when you get tired.
Yeah, top burns.
I was going for it. No way I was going to let him. So I'm happy about it.
So Iceland taking maximum points to keep themselves in with a chance of victory. And for our last event, back to the staves. And we've got a harness pull on the big trucks. The 7.5-ton trucks have to be hauled over a 30-metre course up the incline along the staves. First to go, Europe against Great Britain.
This is how they should have decided the Brexit referendum, isn't it? Actually, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not.
These two teams now really pulling for pride rather than prizes. Europe safe in third place and the British team in fourth. Remember, the Brits won the car pull, but the 7.5-ton trucks are a very different matter. Nevertheless, they've got it moving and ahead of the big Europeans at the moment.
Oh, come on, Britain.
Brian Bell really coming into his own on these leg power events. And Britain first, much to his delight.
It's a shame he said Britain first, though.
Brian's a very good puller, and he was like the captain on the way up and showed me what to do.
Well, the secret is when you're pulling the truck on the flat surface, start off short, explosive steps, using your hands, then you get up into a hanging position. And we both looked great as a team because we're both similar builds and height. We gave away maybe 7 stone, but we worked together as the team. And that's what counts on this event.
Helti Arnesen psyching himself up. He knows exactly what's got to happen. He and Magnus Magnusson must beat the time of 41 seconds exactly set by the Brits. And he wants the Americans slower than 42.4 if they're going to tie the scores at the end of these 16 events in this year's championship.
The Americans are going to be good at this, aren't they?
And these big trucks are very different kettle of fish to the cars. The extra body weight of the Americans already telling. And the Icelanders struggling to get the big Iveco truck moving. Odie Wilson charging away and knowing now that they've got the championship in the bag. And by way of celebration, Odie Wilson cheers in their major opponents. The Icelanders have pushed them all the way, but they're now just about spent at the end of this grueling event.
Well done.
Eventually, for all their speed, the difference in body weight defeating them. A very emphatic victory. Once you got it moving, you were almost getting into a run.
That's the key, you know. When you got body weight such as ours, both our legs are pretty powerful. So once we got the truck going, Bill used a good strategy. He stayed low. I came up a little bit, but I kept my arms around him. So we could kind of like get in the same stride, and we just kept going. I could have ran forever with the truck, not by myself.
Another good victory, though, Kaz.
Yeah,
enjoying this one?
Yeah, 4 big pistons just pounding away on the turf. And we made it fun, you know. Too bad for the Icelanders. I don't know if they finished or not, but it's a pretty tough course. A lot of the guys are really banged up. Yeah. And after 3 days of grueling events, the body just takes a toll. And all these injuries add up. Before you know it, you can't walk the next day.
I have been lucky through the years. I have never got serious injuries or anything. But I think last year we won. We shocked the world of strength and power by winning, because we were kind of little names coming up. We have lost the title now, but it just brings back the will to train and to win again. Maybe we were needed to be taken down a little, so we just know we have to work harder for next year and just hope they will put more like events who fit us better than this year. But anyway, the Americans, they were the best this year. They were unbeatable, and we just have to take second place.
There we go.
So there it is, the USA winning the final event. Iceland having to settle for 4th, and that gave the USA victory by a clear 12 points. Everybody agrees, worthy winners, and Alan Palmer, the marketing director of the sponsors, Trebor Bassett Limited, presents them with the Trebor Super Strength Trophy.
Yay!
That is a good trophy, yeah. Yeah, some mints would have been good. There we go, that was Pure Strength 1990. And unfortunately, the final Pure Strength.
And if your kids out there watching, teamwork.
Thanks. Thanks, OD. Thanks, OD. Oh. Okay, we don't want the most boring video ever made. Maybe another time. Okay. Where's my, there. Yeah, remember everyone, teamwork. To all the kids out there, teamwork. Teamwork makes the stream work. That's not really true, is it? Anyway. I think we've had a nice night of Big Lads. Hope people enjoyed it. Of course, I've still got to send off the TikTok. I've got to submit a TikTok off to tiktok.com. It's going to be the Pete Picks Art Attack intro. If anyone does want to add any hashtags at the last minute, now would be the time to do it. Actually, we haven't watched it, but I've got it set up. Let's just enjoy the video. You've got last chance to send in any last minute hashtags, and then we will send it off. That's the wrong button.
Out the way, go. Oh, where are you? Oh, there you are. Well, that's almost it for this video. And hey, did you spot how much the old hairstyles changed over the years? Worrying, isn't it? Some of the clothes have changed a bit too, haven't they? So, just for a laugh, as it's the 10th anniversary celebration, to finish up, here's an extra big Art Attack made up from all of my Art Attack clothes from the 10 series. After all, as I always say, you can make pictures out of almost anything. See you.
Right, there we go. That's the video. That's the Pete Picks intro video. And that's what we're sending into tiktok.com. Got a nice boing on the end there. Right, okay, I have had a few TikToks come in. Not TikToks, hashtags. Now, hashtag happy 100th birthday Jimmy Carter actually has 4 talks. That's interesting, isn't it? Hashtag October. This is going to have some, isn't it? Yeah, 1.9k. 1.9k talks, buddy. And hashtag sniffing glue. I bet that's also going to have some. 85. Just 85 talks. I don't know. I don't know, Jazar. And I'm not going to click on it to find out. I would not advise binging it. Okay, here we go. We've got Pete Picks, Art Attack intro, hashtag RIP King Charles, hashtag Jackie Weaver, you have no authority here, hashtag Berlin Wall, hashtag Mr. Gorbachev rebuild that wall, hashtag Go Henning from Denmark, Hashtag Ireland's first play. Hashtag get fucked Andy Burnham. Hashtag happy 100th birthday Jimmy Carter. Hashtag Locktober. Hashtag sniffing glue. You can add a location. You can now. This looks like this is new. Yeah. Yep. I don't understand why. I don't understand why the why these are the options. I don't understand why when I clicked on it. These are the defaults. Diddy Donuts, the Goat Coming Museum. United Kingdom Nan's Kitchen. Yeah. You can only add one location, unfortunately. Sexy Fish Asian Restaurant. Yeah, alright. Yeah, okay. I've picked it. I've picked it. Oh, we need to pick a cover image as well. It probably has to be this, right? This is the most interesting image, is when it's my face, right? Otherwise, it's just Art Attack. What do you want? Don't spoil it. What? So we just have Neil. We can just have Neil smashing up some pencils, or doing this face. Just lock it in on Neil's. That's the smallest we can make it, unfortunately. Just now, yes. Yeah, there we go. Okay. There we go. Are you happy with that? Okay, and this is getting sent off. This is what we're submitting to tiktok.tok.com. Yeah, I should schedule it for when it's going to have the most impact, right? No, I'll just post it. I'll just post it. Okay. I don't need to disclose. It's not AI generated. Okay, right, we're sending this off. You can now save drafts. I think that's new. Okay, let's send it off. Yeah, let's tick that talk. Okay, there we go. It's gone. Hang on, so it'll be here now. No, it didn't go viral. I think we put some particularly heinous hashtags on there, which stopped it from. Right, there we go. There's Neil. There it is. If you want to add your own comments and likes, there you go. There's the link. Yeah, the bin. Yeah, look, the bin. The bin is probably the most, is it? I think the bin is the most, yeah. Obviously it helps if it's shorter to get bigger numbers, which is something we should bear in mind. It's something we should bear in mind, although I would also like to submit a 60-minute TikTok just because we can. Okay, there we go. We sent that off. That'll be going viral. These are bad numbers, aren't they? It's almost like I never promote it or promote. Yeah, anyway. Okay. This has been nice. We've seen some nice big lads. Let's pop over here. I've enjoyed it. Oh, that's revealed too many hands, isn't it? Oh, let me pay out the prediction. Unfortunately, there was no mention of the pipes, was there? So the no's have it. No one mentioned the pipes. Unprecedented. Unprecedented no one mentioned the pipes. Yeah, it was bad. Congratulations, I have other interests. I suppose the pipe run had to run out, didn't it? Okay, let's see who's on for a raid. But thanks everyone, this has been nice. I enjoy doing a monthly Big Lad stream. I'm sure it'll be back again next month. Oh, there's Paul Bearer. I probably will be live tomorrow, yeah. I might do possibly a Pete Pick stream in the afternoon. I think that's probably need to do that. And yeah, thanks to the big lads. Thanks, of course, to the big lads. And thanks to Tree Boy, yeah. Yeah. Thanks, big lads. Thanks, Tree Boy. Who is streaming? Let's go over to what Crassup's up to. Right, yeah. Thanks everyone. Thanks Treebor. Thanks TikTok. Remember to go and see Kate's play if you're in or around the Dublin area. And yeah, good night everyone. Oh, if you want, you can join the Discord if you're not already in that. I suspect everyone who wants to be already is. Yeah, I hope it went well today. I will ask Kate. I'm sure it will have done. I'm sure it will have done. It seems very good. People seem genuinely excited about it. Yeah, I've no doubt. No doubt it'll be good. So yeah, I'll see. Yeah, I'll probably do a Pete Pick stream tomorrow. I'll see what I'm doing tomorrow. Possibly a Pete Pick stream. Possibly a late night stream. We need to watch some more Lucha. That's very kind, Adamantium. Thank you everyone for being here. So yeah, it might be art, might be Lucha, might be both or neither. Who knows? I'll let you know tomorrow in the Discord. Maybe I'll do a Twitch story. I think that's what the people want. Oh, the race happened. Okay, lovely. Goodbye everyone. Goodbye to anyone who's watching the VOD as well. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you like the big lads. I like the bit when they jumped through the log. It was good, wasn't it? I'll see you in the next stream. Right. Goodbye everyone. Goodbye.